Oh, hello, kids. How are we doing today? Can you hear your dad? Can you hear your dad screaming? Or your aunt or your mom, whatever you want me to be. Some of you just want me to be OB. I'll be OB. I'll be Bob. How are you doing today? Hello, everybody. Hello, Adam. Helen is going to be fine. I saved myself a lot of grief. Who did? Who did? Adam says Helen's going to be fine. Nicolette says, hi, Adam. Agatha Crusty. You need some brain bleach after watching the debate. I don't even watch that shit anymore. I'm really disappointed. I'll just say this. Like, really, once you hit the age of retirement, please retire. You deserve a rest. You deserve to chill. And you don't need the weight of the world's problems resting on your shoulders when you're at the age where you should be chilling on a beach. You feel me? Like, I'm not trying to be ageist. I just think it's kind of ridiculous. I have powder. I did that shit where I just went makeup on. Let's go. I just feel like, can we get some 50, 60 in the 60s-year-old? Like, why are we? I don't want my president to die midterm. And there's a very real feeling that could happen with either of them. And like, no offense to anybody with dementia, but like, that is a scary age where that shit can start happening and may have already happened. And it's like, we want to give that to, okay, I guess we'll just, here's the button, dude. Don't freak out and push it. Like, I don't understand what is going on. And like, didn't we do this already? I don't know. My political opinions are stupid, apparently, because I just think we should get rid of all the parties so we can get to know the people. You know? That's what I think. And I can't watch the crap anymore either. I'm just so tired of the same bullshit over and over with all of them. And I don't need someone too young either. I need someone who's been through some shit and knows how to handle it, but also like has the wherewithal and the mental capacity to handle it, but also someone who isn't too old to be totally jaded. Because I feel like, again, once you hit a certain age, it's like you don't have to give a fuck anymore. But I need someone who gives a fuck. You know what I mean? I feel like everybody's in it for their own shit. Yeah, it's too much. It's all too much. I mean, they should all be in trouble for elder abuse. Don't make me go to Wayback Machine and pull up Melania's bullshit either. I think they're all fucking fucked. I can't handle it. I'm so tired of it. I think everybody just, oh. Can we get a good dog president? Is it time, you guys? We've talked about dog mayors. We've talked about all kinds of animals in public. Yeah, we got to give a few fucks. I'm dropping everything. Look, paper towels just got flung at me. Uh-oh, the Republicans are sending bad juju my way. I'm sorry. Hello, Rochelle. Welcome from San Antonio. What part of San Antonio? That used to be my hood. I think I've lived in all parts of San Antonio at this point. I want The Rock for president too. Well, I did want The Rock for president, and then we saw what happened with Roman Reigns. So I don't know. I'm going to put on a little. I guess that's appropriate. Yeah, no, I don't. And also he does hang out with old dude who sent Bonesaw our way, so I don't know if I'm too keen on him anymore either. But I mean, fuck, I would vote for Rock over anyone, and that's the problem. We shouldn't be resorting to celebrities. Like, what the fuck is going on? And I have my own personal reasons for not liking Trump, and I think he's really losing it. They're all losing it. I don't like any of them. I mean, at least Biden's kind of nice and like the old guy who's like, I don't know what's going on, but Trump's just fucking out of his goddamn mind. Like, they're all out of their goddamn minds. Get rid of all of it. Can we get a dog for president? What dog do you want? What breed? Yeah, the lesser of two evils is they're all fucking evil. Orca Winfrey. Yeah, I don't know. I do smell what The Rock is cooking, though. I mean, I did used to have the Rock alarm, and that motherfucker gets up at 6 a.m. every morning and like works out and eats healthy, but he also has Terramana for lunch. So I don't know about that. He does party with Bonesaw's boss and have Terramana for lunch. So, everybody's got their faults. You don't elect yeah, exactly, Cindy. That's a problem too. Like, what is that about? First of all, why college? Let's go for a university. Let's make this shit. Yeah, and he's a rapist. There's also that. Like, it's fuck. Like, they all fucking like one's losing his mind. He's too old and he's talking about popcorn. Years ago, he's talking about this guy named Popcorn and some shit they got into at the pool. He's almost too nice. He's non-threatening. I need someone who's kind of scary, but not towards us, like scary to other people. You feel me? And I keep saying I don't want to get political, but damn. Yeah, why do we even need a fucking president? The royal dog. Let's get a royal dog. What dog? I mean, I hate to be biased, but I think Boston Terrier because they are America's gentlemen. But also, I'm all for a female dog president. I'm down for a bitch president. What do you guys think? Southeast, girl, that's where I grew up. Over by Macreela's Mall, baby. It's probably not there anymore, is it? Yeah, HEB tortilla blanket is what that is, Rochelle. 100. And they were $15. I don't know what they are now after the pandy, but they were really cheap during the pandy. Apparently it was soup on Monica's. No, that was cum. That was a lot of cum. Cum. Yeah, there's a lot of it. Boston Terrier, I feel like, I mean, they are sweet. Do you want a president that farts really bad, smells like eggs? That's the question if you want a Boston Terrier. Yeah, we should run the world. It's our time. Let's fuck shit up, ladies. Honestly, I'm okay. I'm dying, so I don't have to see the planet trashed. Yeah. See, that's the thing, Midwest, that I'm really glad that you're looking on the positive side of things. Shit. Midwest gets the comment of the year. You know, when one of my best friends was dying, that was when the first election of horror was happening. And she was really worried about her health. And she said the same shit. She goes, hey, the good thing is, and this was during all the protests. And she's a Black woman from Detroit, and she's like the best person I've ever met. Like, I love her. LaShonda Lester. Look her up if you want to listen to the best comedy album ever. And it is on Spotify, and it came out right when she passed away. Funniest person I've ever met in my life. She has lived a life. She's lived in the worst places and in the best places. She's been in every single industry you can imagine. She's just an overall baddie. And I remember her saying, like, hey, the good thing about me maybe dying is that, I don't have to see all this fucking racist fuck shit going on. So that's nice. Girl. Look at the bright side. That was not soup. No, that was cum. Can't bring myself to call. Yeah, I told you, Margaret, you don't have to. I could be OB to you, girl. 2 bad memories about special was a bootlegger, Meyer Lansky. Ooh, I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know much about bootlegging. We have come, Nicolette. That's what we have. People need to realize there are 2 wings, but they're on the same bird. This is all a circus. And there's that show, The Circus, and that really does show you shit is a circus. It's a little biased, but I mean, you do get to see there's some funny moments from both sides, but it is horrifying. Hello, Web Weaver. So, honey, I have a lottery. Oh, girl, that was the funniest shit ever. I mean, it's a good point. I don't know how you're so far behind, Lily, but we're just talking about how politics are, again, like she was saying, 2 wings on the same fucking bird. Everybody's in it to win it, and nobody wants everyone to win. It's fucking crazy. It just splits people up. It divides everybody. Here's the thing. The way you don't want to get married to a case, the way you don't want to sit there and make the evidence fit the case. We don't have to make a person's behavior fit what we expect of them. We should hold them accountable when they aren't meeting the expectations that are a given, right? And so it's really weird to see those expectations get lower and lower and lower over the years, and nobody gives a fuck. Everybody's like, well, what do you expect? It's like, I expected more, to be honest. And I think that's fucking fair. And it bothers the shit out of me, you guys, that we are making excuses for radical behavior. And I'm talking like way radical the last 10 years. And the lack of, we're not, part of me says we deserve better. Maybe we don't. Maybe this is fucking baby. Maybe this is karma for us being dicks. I mean, it wasn't necessarily us, but, I guess we're paying the price for the mistakes of the past couple of generations. Maybe. I don't fucking know. Yeah, it needs to be back in the people's hands, but also does it? Because I don't know. I see comments and shit on the internet, and I'm like, damn, people are fucking crazy. I don't know. I hate the I know I am, but what about you bullshit. Yeah, yeah. The whole what about when someone brings a problem to the table and the first you know what? It's weird that you said that, Angela, because so I have to take one class that 20 years ago when I first went to school for journalism, I took these classes. But now in Texas, everything's changed. So even though I'm just getting classes for skills and experience, a prerequisite for one of them is a speech and communications class. And I'm going to make this short and sweet because that's something I learned from my class. But one thing that's fascinating is you just made a really great point. The I know I am, but what about you bullshit. This is something that we were actually talking about communication and how, we can make excuses and say, hey, bringing everything online. I mean, even right now, it's pretty one-sided, right? I can read, fucking fruit flies, they're back. I bought a peach and I left it on the counter and they're back. But don't worry, I'm going to get rid of them. Yeah, like even right now, it's like I can kind of choose which responses to read. I'm trying to get through all of them. But you know what I mean? It's almost a protective bubble, which is fine. That's part of hosting a channel, right? But it does narrow the lane of communication to what we choose. You know what I mean? And we were talking about how when we communicate with people, one of the big things that we seem to be lacking nowadays, I say nowadays like I'm fucking old as shit, and nowadays what we lack. No, one of the things that we're really, really missing, I think, and that we were all talking about is when somebody brings a problem to the table, a concern, the need to almost beat that concern or to counter it with another concern, especially when it's a discussion where two people are on different sides, right? So if somebody says, what about blah, 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 this issue? What do you think of this issue? And you're the person answering the questions, right? Let's say I'm a politician. Let's say Green Party, because I'm not even gonna pick a side. But let's say I'm a Green Party politician, right? And somebody asks me, what do you think about this controversial issue? And what about what this guy said? When I respond with, well, what about what she said? That is a deflection. And we all know it's a deflection. We know it is because now it's a game of what about them? What about this? What about that? But you're not answering the core question. So the key job of a reporter, right, is to get that back on. No, answer the question. You feel me? But it becomes a race. And once that race happens, it's like, well, you contradicted yourself. And you're not getting anywhere. You're never going to solve the problem. It's just a circular thing. And then before you know it, back and forth, it's a tennis match. And then one person stumps the other, and then they say, well, we have to agree to disagree. And that, I'm starting to learn from learning about communication all over again that this is a big cop out. It's almost like I don't really want to play the game. So I'm going to if you were playing tennis, do a let or something. Like I want to get out of this. And you never really get anything answered. And it sucks to settle for that. Anyway, that's my rant. I just feel like we're in that world of, well, what about this? Well, this one's worse. This one. It's not a battle of what's worse. It's a battle of what should we expect from these people who are fucking putting their fingers on the weapons. It scares shit out of me, guys. I was a poll worker since 1988 in my little Wisconsin town. The best year was Clinton, and it's just old ladies as poll workers, not election stealers. Yeah, and let me tell you all this. My reasons for why I don't like certain people are very strange. They are not like my reasons why I don't like old fucking Trumpy. It has nothing to do with anything political. I just had a friend who was in a beauty pageant a long time ago, and she experienced some shit. It's up to her when she wants to talk about it, and I've ever since that story, and I believe her, and she didn't even have to prove it to me. I saw pictures of the whole event, and let me tell you something. I don't like him. I don't like him for many reasons, but let's just say he said some shit and he did some shit to those girls, and It was inappropriate, and I wouldn't put my kids in charge of him. Simultaneously, I've heard a really personal, great story from a buddy of mine who his dad operated on Biden's fucking wife and kids when they were in that car accident. And like when Biden's crying outside, he like hugged my buddy whose dad was a surgeon and was like, cherish your family. And I hear that. And I'm like, oh, what a great guy. But then I see what he says on the news. And I'm like, oh, fuck. You know, so it's like everybody has their pluses and minuses, but my reasons are weird. Like, I think I look at character and I'm like, we need to get rid of political parties. It's really fucking us up. Political parties are fucking us up. But anyway, just to be clear, anybody who's like looking for me to have a side, I don't like any of them so far. Like as people, so like I do find things Trump says and does hilarious because I'm a comedian and I have to, like, that's kind of how you deal with trauma. But with Biden, it's like, oh, fuck. And that can be funny too. But when you think about it, it's like, oh, fuck, we're fucked. Like this nation is pretty fucked. So we got to do something. And that's why your cult dad is here. I'm going to fucking, and here's the thing. Grady Judd says shit that I'm like, oh, hell no, sir. But then he says other shit. I'm like, fuck yes, dude, you rule. So like that shows the dichotomy of people, the dynamics between people's personalities. I think people has a little bit of people, depending on our circumstances and our situation and what we grew up doing, we have different points of views about different things. And I mean, like I said, I got parents who were into Fox News, and they've hung out with a dude from the Washington Post and got along great with him. And I accidentally hung out with a bitch from the NRA and I got along great with her. So like, it's fucking weird. We have different weird dynamics. You just have to be open to having discourse because you can really like change each other's minds, you know, and maybe you can rub off on each other. Like I knew a dude who was pretty anti-gay, and now he's like one of the gayest people I know. So, you know, who knows? People change, and I just think we need to get somebody who's gonna fucking take care of business in there. But enough of that. Whoa, my God, we're 15 minutes in. I'm gonna get destroyed in the comments, which brings me to my next point. A couple of you guys have been messaging me about mads. Some of you want to be mads. I know Petty Mason, girl, you're in. Bree, you're in, bitch. We already talked about this. Some of you want to be mods in the cult. You want to be deacons in this cult of justice. Now listen, I'm not going to give you robes, okay? You're not going to have to walk down a thing and ding a bell and fling ashes at people or whatever it is. No. You do not want him. Let me just say this. Trust me, I do comedy. I know people. You don't want him. You don't want that dude. That dude will fuck us up. You do not want that dude. Hell no. People are people. So anyway, I want to get mods, but I want to pick a number because that's how my brain works. We got to pick a goal to get mods. Okay. Dad rants are the side quests. Yes, and side quests. They are the best. Yes. I do enjoy a good dad. Now listen here, kids. We don't fucking trust anyone in the government. Oh, I'm just kidding. I've been watching, but had to be disciplined and do my work. But I love this group so much. Daisy Live Love. Oh my God, we have to have our Zoom sesh, girl. Welcome back. We're having a blast. Your dad went on a political rant against everyone. Good news is I hate everybody. Poor kids are just as smart. Yeah. And some people are like, oh, you know what he means. And it's like, damn, dude, I mean, he should have fucking, maybe if we had someone who thought before they spoke or read the fucking audience, or maybe didn't feel that way. I don't know. I saw that shit. And then I saw the whole, you know, if you don't vote this way, you ain't black. I was like, damn, on the Breakfast Club, they brought that up. Woo. That was crazy. See what I mean? They're both fucking crazy. I believe the anti-gays are download gay. Well, some of them are just brought up. Like if you get into the parts of the South where they're just brought up that way, I mean, they're just brought up in a horrible environment. There was one kid who got bullied for being either racist or anti-gay, and he was like the sweet looking little kid, and he's crying in the car, and his mom is going on a TikTok rant or some shit about how, you know, yeah, my son said this thing, but y'all didn't need it. He's been bullied, and it's all about him being bullied. And then you find out why he was bullied, and then the whole world went, well, good. But I see that kid, and I'm like, no, not good. This sucks for that kid. You can tell he's being brought up in a fucked up environment. And that mom shouldn't have put him in that position. And I actually felt worse for that kid because he's got to live with these parents who are teaching him that hateful shit and then defending it. He doesn't stand a chance in the world. He doesn't stand a chance at being a good person. That's because of his shitty fucking parents. And a lot of people were like, nah, that kid deserved his ass beat. It's like, I don't care what he said. That was on that mom because you heard her defend it. If you know what I'm talking about, we're not even going to watch it. It makes me fucking cry. But yeah, Depeche Mode rocks. Anyway, whose podcast? Oh, I don't need to. I met him. Trust me. I know who you're talking about. No. You don't want that guy. I mean, I like the things he says on his shows, but people on their shows can sometimes, like, when they have massive platforms run by, like, corporations who tell them what to say and production companies, you got to be real careful because they are not always who they seem. I mean, he's a nice guy at times, but damn, I wouldn't want him in charge. Anyway, yeah, read the room. Who, me or them? It's okay, OB. You had to get it out of the way. Hey, I had to get it out of the way because the what do you call it? Well, you're in Notorious. Well, it depends. I don't know how many mods I need, honestly. What do you guys think? I'll let you pick. You pick the mods. It's your fucking cult. You want a robe? I can't afford that yet. Robes are expensive. I looked into it, but trust me. Yeah, that kid, that was really sad, right? Like, that's that fucking kid's mom's fault, not his fault. But anyway, the point is, I think the number should be 5K because that's the next big goal, right? What am I at? Like 4.3 or 4.2 something? So I'm thinking like 5K will get mods. And I did already tell, I think it was Patronus Glow. I definitely told Petty, Mason. I definitely told Bree they could be mods. So if you want a mod, just message me. No, I'm talking about what's his name? Fuck. Can't even remember his name now. Bill Maher. Who, I mean, I have a friend who used to like dog sit for him and stuff. Maybe we'll bring her on. Her dad made a movie called I Am Comic, and she's fucking awesome. She's one of my best friends, and her name's Van. Maybe we'll bring her on to talk about it because I think she'll tell. I mean, she loves him to death, and she'll tell you that's not a good idea. Don't get me wrong. It's with love. It's with love. What is it that Ethan Klein guy says? With peace and love, peace and love. Somehow that got presented to me on Reddit, and then I watched some H3 over the pandemic, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a weird lane. I'm still trying to figure it all out, but I think they're just all shit talk, right? They just shit talk people, or is it's fun. I enjoyed it, but I like that Ela chick. What does a mod do? I don't know. That's what I think. They just like keep y'all from saying bad words, but I like it when you say bad words. So I'm not sure. Yes, this cult is free. It's absolutely free. This is a free cult. Bill Maher, yeah. He's just it's like we may as well fucking make Charlie Sheen fucking president if you get my drift. Mods have to wear stick-on mustaches unless they have it. That's a great rule, Dream of Hive. We're gonna table it and vote on that later. Yeah, I love him too, but damn, you gotta be careful. Yeah, he's getting a little senile too. He also fights too much. We need someone who fights with like we need someone who fights with words, but like the president of Reykjavik. Or no, what am I saying? The mayor? I think he's the mayor of Reykjavik. He's actually a stand-up comedian. He runs a thing called The Best Party, and there is a fucking documentary about it. And that dude rules. He was like, you know what? We're gonna solve all the problems in Reykjavik. We're gonna bring all of our economy up, and we're gonna do it by just keeping all of our meetings between us. And he's talking to like the whole city via his platform on YouTube. And he's just like, okay, what are your problems? And he's doing what we're doing here. He's like, what do you guys like? What do you not like about the world? And then people are just like, well, I don't like that there aren't polar bears in our zoo. And he's like, well, then if I'm president, we'll get polar bears in the zoo. And so he does it and they win. And like he works out problems with the people. And then after he wins, they have like a balloon day where everybody gets off of work and they get balloons. And there was like a marshmallow festival. Like he just does things that they suggest. And then they love him. And somehow it stimulates and boosts the economy and it gets them out of the red. And it's amazing. I'm working on no estrogen right now. So any day it'll be coming in. Oh my God. That's when we'll make you mod, Petty. When your fucking period's raging, we're going to get you in here to push all the buttons. Yes, keep it trashy. This is the trashiest cult ever. Listen, if you guys want to get trailers with holes in the floor, ain't nothing I ain't done before. You feel me? And I'm not saying trailers are trashy. I'm saying when there's a hole in the floor and I'm in them, hell yeah, they are. Hey, kids, guess what? No brain cancer. Notorious Nance. Notorious Nance, congratulations. Why don't you email me obliviousbenson question@gmail.com and I will send you a gift. MRI clear, no cancer. Cancer free. Now, I know that you're talking to Petty Mason, but that would be so fucking rude, but funny if it were to Notorious Nance. Like, Notorious, come on. If you had said this, right? Like, I'm brain cancer. And then Jesse was like, Petty. Oh, shit. We had mods. What if can you mods understand that those did not go together? That she was responding to something else? We need to make sure if you're a mod, you can't have your head up your ass, guys. If you don't use curry words, what about cursey words? You might be in an actual cult. I don't trust you. That's actually a really good point. Did you guys hear that? What's his name? Andrew something. The guy from, is it 10 Things I Hate About You, I think? Has his own cult. Andrew Keegan. That's his name. He has his own cult. Yes, Notorious. It's Nitrous Nance. Oh, shit. Nance, what have you been doing? Congratulations, says Lily Laura. Everybody's saying, yay, we're so happy for you, Notorious Nance. We're so happy for you. And I like your kitty hat. Hello, Aline Sandu. Welcome to the cult. You're in a cult now. You should have read the fine print, but if you didn't, you just got to tell my dog he's cute, and then you're out of the cult. But he's asleep again. So this dog sleeps all the time. By the way, his dew paw is better. His dew claw. So thank you so much to everybody who offered advice. He's fine. No cancer is awesome. No cancer in 7 years for me. Congratulations, little Irish girl. Wee. Everybody's doing so good right now. I say you a pic of one of my Frenchies. Yes, Notorious Dance. You did. And they are very cute. I like them. You said didn't we talk? Don't you have two? Or do you have more than two? I did see them. They are very, very cute. Yes, we're very fun, Cole. We're going to get ropes maybe. We'll see what the budget permits. So much fun to watch you deal with haters. I'm not sure what your mods would do. I really enjoy, like, here's the thing. I used to work in de-escalation. I only did it for a year, but and I did it in high school. I worked at a telemarketing company, and they would always put me in de-escalation because people would get so pissed, and I'd be like, ma'am, what is going on in your life? And then I'd end up just talking to people for like an hour about, how their fibromyalgia is flaring up or some shit. And then we'd get them back on track, and then we'd handle their balance transfer or whatever it was, or like their new batteries, whatever they're fucking ordering. But yeah, I'm really into that. And if I see someone who's a hater, I kind of want to talk to them like more. I'm like, yo, who hit you? You know what I mean? Who hurt you? Who broke up with you? Who pissed you off? The lip gloss was a bad idea, you guys. I like hearing, because a lot of the times hate comes from hate, right? Or hate comes from hurt. I don't know. It's some shit I heard in church once, but hate comes from hurt. You feel me? Like people who are drinking the haterade 24/7 and they're just being fucking assholes to you. Most of the time it's because someone was a fucking asshole to them, or you were a fucking asshole to them and they're responding. And either way, it's like I've been a huge fucking asshole to someone who's being a fucking asshole to me, and then we end up being fucking besties. So it just depends on, do you have the chutzpah to like sit there and talk to them, the gumption, whatever word you want to use. Are you ready to hunker down and have a conversation? I think if you are, and if you get someone to open up without sounding condescending, like genuinely curious, and most of the time I'm genuinely curious, like, what the fuck's your problem? So yeah, I'm all about that. I'm all about it. I'm like, come on, haters, let's talk. What's going on? Why are you pissed? What can we do? Do you need a cult robe? Do you hate the cult? What's your problem? Yeah, bad cults pretend they're not in a cult. Listen, we're very upfront. If you get asked on a credit report, are you in a cult? You need to answer yes. And thank you very much to and congrats, Irish girl. And thank you for the wing liner, Dad. Your dad loves a good wing liner. It does imprint on the upper lid, but I found that it looks purposeful, so I just leave it. Hello, everyone. Okay. I only sent you one. I figured I spread the love. Okay, so I've gotten 2 sets of Frenchies from people. One of them was brown, and one of them was like almost like a calico bundle of pups. And I love them both. And I thank you for your contribution to your cult dad. Your cult dad took half of a Sudafed today. So he's feeling a little sparky, like, ooh, but also like a little snotty. I'm glad you like it here, Melly. You can bring forth to the cult all of your problems and we'll figure it out. And we'll probably use a fun 90s reference to do so. Or some sort of thing that we learned. Okay, this has been fun. Where it's always a good time. We have the best time here, you guys. Usually it's complaining, but we do our best. Hello, walk among the tombstones. How are you? Oh, hello. Where's Satan Sandwich? Hello, Satan Sandwich. Hello. I also, anybody who said, I saw like a couple of you sent me emails, but I haven't even got to them. I was so freaking busy today. It was a lot. Your dad had to take a test and then he had to write a 4-page paper on, what infuriates him about communication. And then your dad had to take care of the dog's toe and it's all fine now. But your dad's never going to get his fucking brakes fixed. Anyway, and also your dad missed eating and then he went to Jimmy John's and he had the snack and it was very good, but they forgot his avocado. And he used that as a learning opportunity to walk in and say, hey, where's my avocado? And then they gave him a hilarious amount of avocado as if they were being condescending. And then your dad was, or patronizing. And then your dad was like, well, I am a patron, so this makes sense. And thank you for all the avocado. And then I came home and I ate a bunch of it. And now your dad doesn't feel good because she doesn't think that that was good avocado. Yes, yours is the calicos. They're very cute. Yes, that is wicked smart. And he tries to be funny. And thank you, Adam. Adam's also wicked smart, and Adam has a channel called Adam Drives Helen, and you should check it out. And then Midwest Nice has a channel, which I will answer that for you, Midwest Nice. Midwest Nice has a channel where Midwest Nice rescues kitties. So if you really like kitties, you want to go there. And yes, it does have a Jason's Deli, and there's actually one right by where I was. And I haven't been there in many years. Is Jason's Deli good? Yes, we will always accept you. Let's go back to this question. So when a jury stays out, it is my understanding from my court procedure classes that we often see various different reasons, right? It's not a 50-50 thing. It's not even a 70-30 thing. It is really dependent on the situation when it comes to highly publicized murder trials in particular, whether it's second, third, 10th degree, it doesn't matter. I don't think there's a 10th degree, but regardless, especially when they're super high profile, which Karen Reed's oddly is, even though, I know that Jay Koff, that evil, likes to say, she's a nobody. Who is she? Bitch, you're a nobody. But the point is, even though Karen is a relatively unknown figure or was before this, her case is taken off because I think of the thick layers of injustice that you kind of have to wade through. So when I see them staying out this long, part of me is like, are they being pressured or is something going on that they have to fight their way out from under that we don't necessarily see? But the thing that struck me as odd personally that I'm questioning too, before I answer your question, the thing that I think is very strange is that the burden of proof is reasonable doubt, right? There just needs to be reasonable doubt. That's it. The burden of proof, I should say the burden of proof is on the prosecution to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, right? So we're just looking for one thing, a reasonable doubt. It just needs to be one reasonable piece of doubt for us to go, okay, the fact that this could have been another reason why we're here in the court today, the fact that there's even one possibility besides Karen murdered him, she should be not guilty, right? When I look at this case, I see an unreasonable amount of doubt. Unreasonable. And by that, I mean an unreasonably large amount of reasonable doubt. Like, it is unreasonable how much fucking reasonable doubt there is. There should never be this much reasonable doubt in a case. And the second my mind changed, because I don't know if a lot of you know this, I feel like Melanie might have been protecting me a little bit, but when she started looking into this case, I was like, Come on. I was a J-Coff. I was like, no fucking way all these guys can come together and make this fucking coup happen. Cops love to talk. What I didn't realize is that their families can be cunts too. And so can their bosses. And so can half the town. And when you got that many people who are being unreasonable C units, holy shit, you get an unreasonable amount of reasonable doubt. That's the shirt. The point is, I've just never seen that other than OJ, I guess, because there was a lot simultaneously. And that's going to piss off a few people because I say that too much. And I learned that in my communications class and from a hater. But the point is, we can use the haters to better ourselves. Simultaneously, I'm saying it twice, there is so much mishandling of evidence. If anything else didn't convince you, the fact that there was no logs by the police and Lally had the balls to ask the one professional guy, okay, two, but the most qualified guy there to be an expert. The fact that he said, well, you didn't log it. I could have reached out and popped his little fucking head off. What do you mean? None of your cops logged anything. You didn't log the main evidence. You put it in a fucking paper bag. The fact that the blood was in red Solo cups they borrowed from someone. That alone, like literally the second I heard every single thing I heard, I went, well, there was a reasonable fucking doubt. And then it got to be where it's like, okay, this is like a goof, right? Is this candid? Is Punked back? Did Ashton get his shit together again? Is Punked back? Are we being punked? I can't. Yeah, party cups. I was half expecting the Troopas to be back there throwing a fucking ping pong ball in it. It was wild. I mean, Chloe, if you're in here, I apologize, but dogums aside, that too was crazy. But like, the dog could have been sick. But even then, if the dog was sick and they couldn't afford the medical, but well, they just sold their fucking house. That makes no sense. Like, there's literally nothing makes sense. The mishandling of evidence alone, Agatha, is wild. The fact that Lally, the only shit he had to stand on, he couldn't even fucking stand on it because he couldn't live up to it. The standard he expected from the best of the best, he could never fucking live up to. Those guys are fucking awesome. Sal was just here in Austin, and he is so funny. And him and Chrissy D had a great podcast, and Chrissy D had a really good one with a guy named Giannis Pappas. If you're from New York, you should have been listening to it. It's called History Hyenas. Everyone look it up. They're so fucking funny. So funny. I just can't imagine the jury not going through this and saying, oh, look, a Stop and Shop bag. What the fuck? Kush, what's up, Kenzie? We're just talking about how fuck the Karen Reed case is as far as the evidence goes. It's wild. It's really wild. Oh, God, I missed so many. I got to scroll down. The mishandling of evidence, all of it, you guys. All of it. And then to top that off, and Chloe was rehomed, yes. And to top that off, the lies. I mean, the fact that there's an FBI investigation and they brought this to trial is wild. That is, I don't know it's definitely happened before. I've seen some people say, oh, I don't know if that's happened before, but I'm like, pretty sure that's happened before with a couple of mafia cases. It's just really, I got one. And some cartel cases, It's really wild to me that it's happening so publicly. I mean, thanks to Turtle Boy and then thanks to Melanie. And what's crazy is like, you can kind of see the order. It was like Turtle Boy, who was it? LTL and Young Jerks. They are awesome. And, and again, another example, I don't agree with everything those motherfuckers say, but they did a great fucking job. They did a great job on this case. I'd love to talk to any of them. I think they're fascinating fuckers. I really do. And I just think that, like, the fact that people from all different walks of life, cops and not cops, can come together and go, hey, that was a fucked up investigation you did. You shouldn't charge this woman. That's great. Good. That means people are looking through the bullshit. So why the jury is taking this long, the only thing that I can figure. I do wonder if they're deadlocked because they started out with mostly women, right? It was almost all women, something like that, majority women. And then they made it a point to say in the news, and there's 2 Asian people. And they said it right after they revealed those texts as being pretty fucking racist towards Asian people. And it's like, damn. I mean, when it was back then, I was like, oh, okay, News Nation. That's a little trashy of you, but tell me more. I'm a trashy girl. I'm a trashy dade. Tell me everything. And now what is it? It's 6-6. Now it's split down it's 6-6. That's crazy. And then we don't, and now they're not reporting on, apparently now the races of the jurors and the genders, now the races are on the back burner. Now the genders are what matter. Now, as much as I hate speculating based on that, that would be shitty. But what the whole world is doing right now is trying to profile that jury. And when I see it go from mostly women, and from what I heard from the response from Proctor's fucking, oh my God, dude. I listened to the DUI guy the other day again, go through one by one all those messages. Oh my gosh. That man is a piece of shit. John Proctor is like, he's a piece of shit. I said that in Scott Hall. If you know who Razor Ramon is, you know. I killed a guy in Florida. Yeah, no, he legit. He's a piece of shit. I couldn't believe. And they kept him on as the done. That's enough. What bothers me is they added all that shit or a lesser charge of DWI. Honey. Nobody else is getting a DWI in this case, or DUI, I guess is what y'all call it. It's fucked up. All those cops drunk drove. Hell, at this point, I would think you'd give her a ticket for being the only one who didn't drunk drive. Hey, get with the program. Be like the rest of your peers, sweetie. I mean, shit. I can't agree more, little Irish girl. There's no fucking evidence of her being there. I keep saying this over and over. Is there any actual evidence of her physically being there? Think about it. If that shit was sprinkled in the yard or however, glass, show me, because all I know is Jen McCabe told her, she told her, well, you were last with him at the waterfall. The last time I saw you was dropping that shit off at our house or at the Albert's house. That went, what if, let's say Karen was drunk. Karen, you're drunk. You were dropping him off. What if he went with Jen? What if Jen fucking hit him? There's just a lot. There's a lot. Also, yeah. R.I.P. Scott Hall. Razor Ramon. He's the best. We're going to talk about him with true crime stuff later. Whose name is Chode? Or did I say Chode? It's one of my favorite words. I love you guys and gals and everyone in between. All you in-betweens. I love y'all. All you fluids. I like you all. Yeah, we can't even, again, no accurate BC. Like, what are we fucking doing here, people? The taillight explanation was Jen McCabe herself said it was barely cracked. She said it was cracked. Then there are pictures, there's photographic and video evidence, Midwest Nice, of it being all together. Then briefly during the prosecution's case, they happen to mention or get exposed for at the pressuring of the defense, which never should have happened. They should have brought this out on their own, but instead the defense had to push to ask why. Apparently, when they were removing the headlight to put it into evidence, which means fucking chunking it against the wall, kicking it, fucking spitting on it, and then dropping it in a fucking plastic bag, probably. Before they did that, they decided to fuck it up. So when they're pulling it out, it shatters. They break it. And they admit this. And yet Lally continues to use a shattered taillight as evidence that she hit him, fucking knowing damn well, pardon my French, that they fucked it up. It's so much. Horseface McCabe. I cannot wait for Auntie Deb to come on. Auntie Deb is good. This is a perfect transition. Now we're going to get to the list. Yes, exactly. Jen's the one who told her, you were that last time I saw you, you were dropping him off at my house. Remember? And when they fucking asked Karen in the interview, she said, did I hit him? Did I hit him? That was after. Makes me wonder, did Jen say, did you hit him, hun? Do you think you hit him? That was all in her head. I think that when, this is my theory, okay? Hear me out, kids. I think that Karen was fucked up. I think she was wasted. Okay? But they all were. Doesn't make an excuse. I'm doing that thing I said I hate, but what about? No, let's just be true. They all were wasted. I think that when Karen was backing out to look for John and hit his car, somehow in her head, she was thinking, did I hit him? Like, did I hit his car? Was he in his car maybe? Because think about it. If they left the waterfall, right? And she went straight home, she might not have remembered seeing his car there. Or she could have thought that he came back and she only may have said she dropped him off because Jen told her that's what happened. Remember, Jen tries to take her aside on the outside. Like, it's just strange. It's very strange. Hi, Darlene. Hello. Oh, and I think you emailed me back too. A couple of you guys emailed me back and I have not gotten to them yet. I'm so sorry. I'm so far behind, but we're talking about Karen Reed right now. Apple Health data puts John in the house when Karen was already home. Yeah, exactly. And notice that they don't really talk about where Karen was. You feel me? Like before, like according to her data, like did it put her at the house at all? I don't recall that. If it did, tell me. It was very strange. And the conflict of interest since the beginning, that should have shut it the fuck down. Who drove him there if she didn't? Her not be. See, that's the thing, though. That's what I'm wondering. Was it Jen? And what? Because think about it. If she's calling his phone to find his phone in the snow, then she wouldn't need to call his phone if she drove him there. She may have drove him there and then he stood outside for a minute to make a phone call or piss or do something. He might have been out there just trying to, look at all of Karen's calls. Like, oh my God. And he was trying. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm just wondering, what if Jen brought him there? He's like, hold on a second, Jen. He goes outside. He decides I have to take a piss. He goes out by the flagpole. Colin or somebody else comes, fucking boom, hits him real hard. And then they got to take the fuck off. I don't know. And then Jen's up there calling him like, where are you, dude? And then she goes outside. She sees his body all fucked up. She starts calling him a million times to find his phone. And also, nobody brought up any other suspects. Like, nobody. Did they look at, was there any robberies nearby that night? Were there any houses nearby that were burglarized? It was right by train tracks, right? There are people who ride tracks and oftentimes jump off. And a lot of them are people who don't have an ID, don't want to be found. Not saying all of them are, but was there a train hopper that made his way through the yard and tried to rob John? Didn't get his phone. Didn't get anything. John put up a fight. Like, is there a chance that John got his ass kicked and then they took Chloe out the front and then she fucked him up a little bit while he was near death? And then they realized this went. Is there a chance that Chloe attacked him and he just fell and hit his head on accident and they didn't actually do anything to beat the shit out of him? If the hit was that hard that it did cause his brain to thunk for, like, What if it's not a combination of everything? What if it's something completely different? What if wild hogs came to town? Not really, but like, did they ask about any other potentials? Like, did they like, were there kids joyriding that night? Anybody who stole a vehicle and went down that way and might have hit him with their vehicle? I gotta turn the fan on. I'm sorry if it makes fuzz in the back. It's too hot, you guys. Thank you so much. And did Jen say to Karen, did you hit him? I do think there was something like that. I have to go back and watch, but I'm sitting here wondering, like, yeah, she has been gaslighting her. Like, was Karen even fucking there? And was the reason Karen called him a pervert because Jen and Matt were trying to get them to swing? We heard the swinger shit brought up. I mean, if I were, let's say Karen's pretty conservative, or let's say she thinks the same thing we all do of Jen, I'd be pissed if my boyfriend saw Jen McCabe and was like, "You want to swing with her?" I'd be like, "You fucking pervert." I'd say the same shit because Jen sucks, and they're all wasted. You can convince. What's the old joke? It's a Carlin bit, and there's a Jeff Foxworthy bit about it. Holy shit! About how we'll go with Jeff's because that's the one I actually. George's is really long and it's a lead in for drugs and alcohol, but Jeff does another version of it. Jeff Foxworthy. Remember when he used to talk about how it was fun to offer to drive? It's fun to be the designated driver because you can stop every 5 minutes at somebody else's yard and then be like, gas money me. And then they pass out and then you go to the next yard and you just keep doing it to them and then get all their money. Like, you can literally convince people that you haven't dropped them off yet when you haven't gotten gas money from them. Like, yeah, and the kids were underage drinking. It's just a lot. OJO. What is OJO? People keep saying that. What is OJ? Am I missing something? Oho. Like I? I see that as like an eyeball. She has a recollection of hitting something, and the video of her hitting his car exists. That's what I'm saying. I think that's why she's like, "Oh shit, did I hit him?" You know what I mean? I think she's taking two different instances, one that's a fantasy that she can't remember, and merging it with that one. That's what I think, because drunk people fucking do that all the time. Why were you fucking looking at that girl? It's like, yeah, but it's my cousin. You know what I mean? Like, drunk people do stupid shit. Yeah, I believe so too. I also believe Jen is crazy. Okay. Yeah, I think everybody wanted to jump his bones. Like, he was a handsome, tall man. I wouldn't even put it past her to be like a cheer mom evil level. And I'm not saying all cheer moms are evil, but they do some nefarious shit to other cheer moms when they want that. Listen, my boyfriend's been watching a lot of cheerleading shit about the Dallas cheerleaders, and it's very dance mommy. He likes the drama. He thinks the big hair is funny. I think it's because he's from Dallas area, so he kind of misses it's like a comfort to him maybe to see a woman with too much hairspray and too much makeup like Tammy Faye Baker screaming at a lot of young people. But regardless, we've been watching that shit. And all I can think about is like, man, these bitches go to hell and high water for their daughters. You know what I mean? They put their life on the line for that shit, for something as stupid as a cheer competition. Jen seems like that type of mom. So does Jill. I can see them like, Colin does something fucked up and they're just like, well, we got to kill people now. Like I can just see it. Anyway, yeah, Karen did drop, but do we know that for sure? Just because here's the thing, I'm not denying it. I'm saying what if, because I said, please send me, I want to see that part where they talk about that. Because I'm just saying I haven't seen that yet. So it makes me wonder. Okay, so my dog has to take a piss. But what I want to do is I'm going to play something for you while I go. And the thing that I'm playing for you, I'm going to preface it with this real quick. Hold on one second. Let me pull this up. Give me 1 second, guys. Here it is. If it starts while I'm okay. Nope, make that big. All right, let me put it over here. Nope. Don't play it yet. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to take my dog to pee, but this is a perfect time to lead into the next thing we're going to talk about. And I'm skipping down because I missed a lot. Oh, wait. Officer John O'Keefe. Okay, so it doesn't mean I. Excellent. Thank you. That changes everything. Okay, that makes a lot more make sense. See what I mean? That's the oblivious part. Dimples Wolf, Cannon Daddy. Okay. Your boss is a cheer mom. Oh my God, is she fucking crazy? She'll poison you. Watch out. Okay. There is a witness. That's all. Yeah, but that's the thing. The witness, isn't it a McCabe or an Albert? Who is it? Is it a Nagel? I don't trust them. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I want to show you guys something because today we're going to talk about, and I have to hurry. There's a lot to talk about, but the main point is I wanted to talk to you about some cold cases. Like, what if a cold case doesn't exist? That sounds weird, right? What are you saying, Dad? I'm saying, what if you hear about something that could or couldn't be real? For example, Clay the serial killer, when he called into Howard Stern. He discusses a lot of murders. People said, hey, I think this was a real serial killer. The FBI went and visited Stern. It was a big deal. People have spent many years recording and replaying and posting on their channels and decoding and decrypting and trying to figure out, who is this guy? Well, we think it's this guy, but he said this. What parts can we believe? Blah, blah, blah. The point is, they never really figured it out, right? There's also weird calls that we hear all the time from people. This call came in and someone was screaming, where did it come from? We never figured it out. You usually can see these on like Unresolved Mysteries and Reddit and stuff like that. So what I want to talk to you about is something called the apology line. And I wanted to talk to you about it because I was looking at my analytics and I got a lot of New Yorkers in here, a lot of people from New York area, and a lot of people who are in my age range, like between 30 and 50. And it occurred to me that, and a lot up to 60 and 70, it occurred to me that a lot of you might recognize this. And if you're from anywhere in the Northeast, this could be something you took part in or something that you don't know about, but you find very interesting because maybe you were in that area in New York at the time, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But basically, there was an amazing, well, I guess it was a podcast, but not really. It was one of the first ever. And it started like in the early 80s, I want to say 1980, and it went until the 90s. And it was a phone number that connected anonymous people with an answering machine. And they can confess whatever they wanted when they called in. There is an author right now. When I worked at a bookstore in marketing, I was kind of tasked with picking him up and walking him around and discussing his itinerary with him. And he wrote a book called Post Secrets. It's very much like the modern version of the apology line. But what he did was he prepaid for a shitload of postcards back in the day. And he went and he gave them out to people in the streets of, I think it was New York. It could have been Boston. But he gave them out and he said, listen, write your deepest, darkest secret on here. And don't put your name. Don't put anything about you. And the postage is prepaid. And if you mail it to me, I'm working on this project. And it was almost like an art project. And he said, just take it really seriously and be honest. And basically anything you need to unburden your soul with. And he got thousands back because he not only got those back, but he started getting more and more. Like, people paid their own postage to tell him their secrets. And it was all on postcards that were homemade after that. And he would also, by the way, he'd give them a blank postcard. So they had to like color it in or design it. And he's like, you just design whatever you want, put your secret on it, mail it to me. I'll pay the postage. So then it got real big, real big. People start doing it. And then he creates a coffee table book of it. You can get it now. It's called Post Secrets. And the amount of secrets that, when he gave his speech about this book, and we were doing a book signing essentially, and he was talking about how he had to make a whole new series of post secrets, just cigarettes. You can tell what I'm thinking of. Post secrets, just based on the abuse ones he got. He got so many. He said the most common he would get was a series he called like the Door series, or the Hole in the Door series. And it's because so many people just wanted to confess that they had been abused or that they fought back against their abuser, and they would show They would send in pictures on the other side of the postcard of the door that maybe they went through or that their dads or boyfriends or girlfriends kicked down to get to them. And it made him extremely sad. And he started basically focusing on, if I remember correctly, yeah, CBS did a profile on him. He started focusing on trying to help fight against that by encouraging people to do these post secrets, but also by using money and stuff that he got from it to donate to organizations that help fight against abuse. Simultaneously, he got a fuckload from preachers' wives that are like, I don't believe in God. Whoa. And he would get some from people who murdered people. So before Post Secrets, there was the apology line where you could call this answer machine and you could apologize to someone for anything you did. Just unburden yourself. And it was totally anonymous. And the guy who ran it promised he would never out anybody who called in. And he posted these flyers all over New York City, and it was a part of a project. Well, it got so popular, he almost became like a Howard Stern-like character in that he would start to converse with some of the people who called in, and he would get all kinds of stuff from them. Yeah, it was like a confessional voicemail, and it is an amazing listen. And hello, welcome back, Kraken Studios and Tiff Knox. Hello. Don't forget Minx and Maven. Don't forget The Real Booty. Adam Drives Helen. So yeah, it is like the party line without the party. So yeah, and the part of it where they get to tell people creepy shit, but there's also people that, yeah, it is wild. There were people, and keep in mind, this was the 80s. So the shit that you hear, the accents, it's everything. Like, I'm getting goosebumps over it. Like, and not just that, he would record it and make it into these tapes that he saved, right? So fast forward to recently, the guy who created it, which we'll get more into him later. We're going to do a whole episode on him because he is his own entity, Mr. Apology, because he starts interacting with them, and that's when it gets crazy. He ended up leaving all the tapes and everything behind, and his wife, Mrs. Apology, went on to make a podcast and air all of them. So you can hear all of this shit on YouTube even, or you can go to the actual podcast channel, and I'm going to put it all below here. But I just want you to know what you're hearing is a very specific lane of the apology line that came down off the internet for a long time, and it just got put back up. And actually it got put up in 2017, but for some reason the link was broken. It was up prior to that, but there's this thing called Apology Line Uncut Gems from the year 0, which is before Mr. Apology started interacting with people, which is when it became more public and people could actually listen to it. It was almost like sexy Frasier, or dark evil Frasier. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to some of it, because when I get questions, when you guys send me questions, they're usually kind of technical or about OSINT, or they're about a specific lane, a specific case, a specific situation. But the one that I think I get the most common, I started noticing I've been getting them more and more, is about like, what got you started in this? And I think that one of the things that really had the most impact on me, aside from being a crime victim or knowing people who went missing, the thing that got me really into being actively nosy, instead of reactive, I want to be helpful. Like, the thing that made me want to get into stuff like OSINT is the apology line. I used to collect really old cassette tapes, like in the 90s, and I would often get them from record stores and from my aunt. And there were some where it's like people screaming at each other that they made a documentary on called like Stupid Man. I think that's what it's called. But I used to collect them, and I do remember one that sounded like it. And when I found it on YouTube, I was like, this is fucking it. Because one of the things on it was a guy who confessed to murder. And I was always obsessed with figuring out who this guy was. So I'm going to play it for you while I walk my doggy, because I've heard it a million times, but I want you to hear it. And then we're going to talk about the specific one that I want to look at today. Okay, so here we go.
Well, first of all, I guess going all the way back when I was a kid, there's my cousin Louise. I raped her when she was, I don't know, about 9, 10 years old. What do? I just say I'm sorry? I'm sorry, Louise. Yeah, I realize now I shouldn't have done it. Of course, I was 19 at the time. I didn't know that. Didn't know any better. I'm sorry, Louise. Oh, so everything's all right now, huh? Well, let's see. There's Henry. I killed Henry. He was a neighbor. He was a classmate of mine. The thing is, it was in the woods, and I hit him over and over again with that rock, and I killed Henry. It was partly his fault, because he shouldn't have kept teasing me about the size of my ears. And they found the body, of course, and they gave him a good funeral. He had a nice funeral, pictures in the paper and everything. I mean, they kept looking for the person who did it. They never caught that person. That's me. But I want to say I'm sorry, Henry. And again, I was a kid. I didn't know any better. Since I've been in New York, I guess I've robbed. I didn't kill anyone, no rape, but I've robbed, mugged about 15, 20 people. I don't know. Stole things, watches, and their money and everything. I don't know their names. How do I apologize to them? Well, I guess, to the 15 or 20 people that I've stolen money from and mugged and robbed and frightened, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't have to say it 15 times, do I? Oh, boy, this is absolutely fantastic. I feel so much better now because I've never seen them to tell them that I'm sorry. This is a fantastic service that you're doing. Oh, boy. Well, that's a weight off my shoulder. Boy, I could go out tonight and start mugging again and doing all those things. Oh, you've changed my whole life. You've changed my whole life. I stopped doing those things because I really felt bad. It was really eating at me. So I stopped to try, doing other things. But you are the one who has changed my life and made it better because I'm always happier when I'm doing those dangerous things. That's the wonderful thing, the danger of it all, of being caught or not being caught and running away and getting $100 that you didn't have 5 minutes ago. Listen, I gotta hang up soon, but I want to tell you, I've never said I'm sorry to someone before I've heard of the person who is running this service, the person who answered the phone. I will find out who you are, and I'm telling you right now, I'm sorry, but I'm going to kill you. I've never done that. I've never said I'm sorry to someone before I've committed the crime. I am going to kill the person who is running this service. I'm going to kill you, but I'm sorry. I'm telling you right now, I'm sorry. So that'll make it all right, right? You mean there'll be no problem or anything? A lot of people live there.
Yo, I'm sorry. I gotta pop in, Michelle. I don't know, but I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first heard this, I had the same reaction. And I was like, am I a fucking psycho? Because I was laughing so hard at is this guy for real? In the way Karen was laughing and Judge Bev bitched at her. That's how I was like, is this fucking great? What? It was almost like, oh my God, I can't believe this fucking crazy guy. But yeah, I don't know why, but I did the same thing first. And then I got keep in mind, I've heard this a million times. And the one that I originally heard that was in the collection when I was younger was not actually this exact one, but I think that somebody had recorded it because the apology line, it used to air on like I think it was like on a public radio type of situation. But anyway, and this was before it was a podcast, if you will. It used to air and people could listen to it, and people could call in and give their thoughts on the previous apologies that they heard. And then Mr. Apology stepped in, and that's when it became like a thing that people could interact with him. Now, I'm about to tell y'all something crazy. So the one that I had, it had this one snippet on it of a guy who sounded similar to this guy who would say crazy shit, but then there was another guy who would, and I could never tell if it was the same guy and he just was calmer, maybe, but he sounded similar, but almost more serious. And he would call Mr. Apology. And the one that I remember hearing was this guy who was discussing his kills with Mr. Apology. Like Mr. Apology would respond and then he would call back and then vice versa. And they would just leave messages because the way Apology did it was he would leave his own response on his own line. And people started wanting to interact with him and hear from him and get a rise out of him. But this one was before any of that. So it was really just kind of an open line for anyone to go on anonymously. And what's strange is the podcast focused on the last few years of his life and their marriage, him and Mrs. Apology, because he did start interacting with a person who he called a serial killer, who would send him this stuff, who I think it might even be this guy, but the guy would call in for a long time. And it became Mr. Apology's personal journey to find out who this guy was because he believed him. And he started kind of stalking this serial killer who was claiming to stalk him. What's strange is he went out to go jet skiing one day near Gilgo, actually, which I know where your heads are going. Trust me, mine went there too. And he didn't come back. He was in an accident, supposedly, when he went jet skiing. And his wife, Mrs. Apology, made a true crime podcast kind of about it. And it's really fascinating. So I'm going to keep playing this. But, and I realize I probably should have said trigger warning at first, but you guys knew what the fuck you were getting into here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and hit play. But I want you to make a note that Mr. Apology does hunt a serial killer that calls into Apology line frequently. He communicates with him beyond the Apology line. There is a podcast from his wife about it called The Apology Line, and you should listen to it. I've recommended it before, but this is why I'm showing it to you. Because Henry, the little boy that he says he killed, is who I've been looking for and trying to figure out who the fuck is this kid. And that's what I mean by sometimes the cold cases aren't really cases yet. I don't believe they opened a case into this, and this could all be bullshit, right? But I did find some, specifically one that seems to match a lot of the things he says. So we'll replay the beginning in a little bit, but let's keep listening and I'll put some of your comments up.
Their lives, and they don't do any good at all in the world. You at least will know that you've made one person happy. I mean, isn't that worth a lifetime to make one person truly happy? When I kill you, you know, that's exciting and all that. You'll make me happy. Your death will make me happy. That's why I'm going to kill you. And I'm going to find out who you are. I mean, there's no problem at all. I have friends in the telephone company. I have friends who are cops, too. They help me. They get me information and all. I know that there was an article on you in the Washington, D.C. Post, the newspaper. I'll find out who you are. I'll find out where you live. And when you least expect it, in this year, this brand new year, 1981, when you least expect it, when everything seems calm or so, your death will come. And, the way you know, I'll be there. I'm going to do it. And I'll say to you, Bernie, telephone call, and you will know. You will make the connection and know that I've followed through on exactly what I said I would do, which is your death. But I'm sorry. I'm telling you right now, I'm sorry, because I'm not going to have time then to say I'm sorry to you. I'm saying I'm sorry now. Okay? This is a wonderful service. I mean, this is really great. You just say you're sorry and then everything is all right. Jesus, I bet a lot more people would be out doing what I'm doing. The world would be full of people like me if we just knew that all we had to do was just say I'm sorry and everything is all right. You're an absolutely fantastic person.
You know, Kraken, I agree with you 100%. Because when you really think about it, like this guy could be doing anything, right? He chose to do this and he did it repeatedly. And he said a lot of crazy shit and he gave a lot of really weird details. And the thing is, the apology line relied on the honor system. Mr. Apology never proved or had to prove that it was 100% anonymous and he wouldn't turn people in because he just said he wouldn't. And people took that at face value. If it were a BTK situation, it would be akin to when BTK asked the cops, hey, can you figure out where I am via floppy disk? And the cops said, no, we can't. And then BTK got caught, right? In this instance, Mr. Apology really couldn't theoretically trace these because he didn't know what people were going to say. And when given the opportunity, I don't believe he did, but he wanted to. That's just my opinion. I think he wanted to because he did become obsessed with finding out who these guys were when they would bring up stuff like this, but specifically one. And when you listen to it over and over and you kind of see how people in interrogation videos act who are really off their fucking rocker and the way he glamorizes and literally sounds like he's getting off on what he's doing, I do think it's real. What do you guys think? One's in the chat if it sounds real to you, or two's in the chat if you think I'm wasting my time trying to figure out who the fuck Henry is. Okay, here, let's keep going.
And you're going to make me very, very happy when I kill you. Thanks. Yeah, I'd like to take an interview with y'all stupid ass motherfuckers. What kind of shit are y'all talking about? Talking about motherfuckers coming up there apologizing to motherfuckers. Y'all kiss my motherfucking dick, cause I ain't got a motherfucking thing to apologize for. Anything I do, I know I'm motherfucking right. You got that shit, motherfucker? You kiss my motherfucking ass and we won't apologize for any motherfucking thing, motherfucker, because anything I do, I'm doing to better my motherfucking self, because there's people beating motherfuckers out here each and every day, motherfucker. You got that shit? Kind of shit you got up in the motherfucking A-train subway talking about call and apologize for shit. Motherfucker, you come here and suck my motherfucking dick, motherfucker. What the fuck have you apologized for? You fucking white ass scumbag, you. What fucking kind of shit is you talking about? Kiss my motherfucking dick, bitch. Fucking bastards, man. Y'all gotta...
Yo, I want to go back to Darlene's comment. Does it? Because I thought the same thing at one point, and then I went back and listened to some older Joel Rifkin interviews, and I thought, you know, if he was hyped up, because we've only seen him abnormally calm. We've never really seen him freak out and become who he really is. But he does sound like what's his name? What from fucking... Oh, I don't remember what it is. I don't remember. He sounds like this cartoon character. I don't know how to explain it, but he sounds very much like if Rifkin were hyped up and younger, or like went out of his way to make his voice higher. But it's very interesting. I do want to go back though, because I want you to hear the Henry part again. But let's see what you guys said. Oh my God. Lots of comments I missed. Okay, so everybody's saying one. So you guys do think it sounds pretty real, right? Like this guy's, because keep in mind, he called repeatedly. And like, why do that if you're banking on the like if you're trusting a stranger to keep it anonymous? It seems wild, right? Yeah, this is way earlier than the Jerky Boys too. Yeah. It goes way back. Yeah, so here's the other thing is he did get a couple of different people confess to murder. He got some mafia guys on there. Like they talk about the shit they do in the mafia. We'll listen to some more if you want. Now that we've got all the ones in the chat already. Yeah, Thick Easton. Yeah, that was a bit much. Some of the guys who call and threaten him say the weirdest shit, and then you have to remember it's the 80s. Yeah, their pitch does change. There is an old interview of him though, like back around when he did it, and he does seem to have a deep voice, but I do wonder. Here's the thing. We actually talked about this on Rock's channel. It's not their pitch that changes, it's their tone that changes. The pitch itself, it just depends. Like if you have specific surgeries, it can change. If you have hormonal imbalances, it can change. If you have like nodule blockage, things like that. But as far as the tonal shift, it makes me wonder if maybe, I mean, maybe his pitch and his tone he's purposefully altering, but not using any tools, if that makes sense. Because it does sound like his accent. Yes, it does sound like Woody Allen. Oh my God. Whoo, see, I agree. I agree. Okay, so you want to hear some more? Do you guys, okay, real quick, give me a difference between and yeah, well actually I'll show you guys how to track um the pitch and the change in tonal differences using Audacity sometimes. It's a very basic program, but that's why I want to use it because it's free, it's basic, and you can actually use it to record like podcasts or music if you want. It's very old. Again, it's like the most basic shit ever, but it's very good with taking a recording of someone's voice and comparing it to another voice and seeing all the pitch and the tonal shifts. So, also, hello, Kylie. Welcome to the cult, honey. Welcome. We are, yeah, like an upstate, and it's very, very interesting. Yes, Satan Sandwich. It's all the recollection is there. It's like he's not reading this, he's not making it up. It's very strange. Yeah, so the Kiss My Dick guy is a different guy, I think. So he's getting calls in between calls on this, but there was a strain of calls where basically this one guy, the one who we're talking about who said he killed Henry, he calls back over and over in one night, and that's the recording that we're seeing. And then there's like a different guy or that we're hearing, and there's a different guy, and then I think it's back to him. But yeah, where there's just you're also going to hear some weird ones. But yeah, it does. It's definitely an NYC accent. Some people have argued it could be Jersey. But you have to remember if we're talking Rifkin, he lived in both and he also worked in both. So, we got to keep that in mind. And he, the Jersey and New York accent to someone like me from Texas, I can't really tell the difference, but I have friends from there who are like, Bay Ridge, baby, don't fuck with me. And I'm like, what are you saying to me right now? So, you guys tell me because this is where I'm fucking oblivious. And hello, Valerie. How are you today, honey? Okay, so we'll go back and let me pull it up at, okay, it's 45:27 is where we want to go. I'm going to pull it back up to, is that where we want to go? No. Oh, no, that's how long it is. My bad. My bad. Okay. So one thing. Okay. Here, let's try this. Let me just see. This is going to pop up and tell me. Okay. There we go. So we want to go to 26 minutes. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. Oh, I was close. Shit. All right. We're going to go back a little. Bronx, not quite Long Island, more NYC. He was using it like those old sex lines. Yes. Yes, he was. My mother worked for one when she was in her 60s, a sex line. Yep, she's a strange one. Hey, I have a friend. This is okay, fun, weird sidetrack. We're gonna talk about Dad's boyfriend, Dylan. So one time we were discussing a fella that I used to work with who was a mall security guard, a professional rapper. He ran a phone sex hotline and he was a drug dealer, and he would steal the radios out of cars in the parking lot of the mall in Denton and then sell them back to college students in Denton. And this guy would do his phone sex with a lizard on his shoulder. And we'll call him Bob, okay? And I was explaining this entity, this person I had met, to my boyfriend when we first met on like our first date. I remember telling him all about this guy. And I'm like, yeah, he'd be sitting there like telling people, and please forgive my language, cover your ears if you can't handle it. But he would be on the phone with strangers. He'd be like, yeah, I'm fucking sucking you all night. And he'd have a little lizard just sitting on his shoulder chilling while he's playing Mario Kart in his chones. Like, he was a weirdo, dude. And he like lived right by us. And I'm telling him about him. And my boyfriend's like, I know that guy. That's Bob. And he knew the exact same guy. And I'm telling you, this is a totally different city a decade later. And we knew the lizard phone sex guy. He's like, the second you said that he rapped and did phone sex and stole from people, I knew who you were talking about. I was like, that's wild, right? What a small world. Anyway, yeah, the phone sex operators, they lead, let's just say they lead lives, okay? They lead lives. And they are often full of Mario Kart. Okay, so I'm going to hit play here, I think. What? Hold up. Satan Sandwich, you got a lot to say tonight, and I like it. This is crazy. My mother also met my stepdad at a swingers party. It took me oh, that's not cool. It took you when you were 3? I hope they put you in another fucking room. Jesus Christ. Yes, very funny, Michelle. This is a wild show, and I'm here for. I told you it was going to be spicy. This one's crazy tonight. Kylie says, hello, Petty Mason. Okay, so put a 1 in the chat if you want me to start at Scary Guy Henry again, and put a 2 in the chat if you want me to go like 5 minutes earlier. I'll fucking wait. We're waiting. 2 in the chat if you want me to go like 5 minutes earlier. 1 in the chat if you want me to start back at Henry Guy. Okay, we all want to start at Henry. Oh, we got a 2. We got 2 2s. Dealer's choice. Okay. We got a 1. We don't want to waste time. We want to get back to the crazy guy. Kylie says 2. What if we split the difference? What if we go 2 minutes before? Okay, okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go. So we're at 26. I'm gonna take you back so you can get a little. I do think. Okay, you know what? Colt Dad's pulling a fast one on you. We're gonna go 2 minutes earlier because I kind of want you to hear the difference between regular callers and this guy. Is that fair? Midwest Nice does not give a fuck, and I love that about you. Anything is cool, really, says Mally. I'm glad you're in this call, and I love you. You're my favorite child. Don't tell the others. All right, we'll start at 24.
Piece of self-defense. I know it's an illegal piece, and I'm carrying a risk. I shot him twice in the chest.
No, we're gonna go back more.
Feeling sorry.
I forgot about shot someone in the. This is what I'm talking about with the mob one, you guys. This is like the mob one.
Sorry, so I'm actually apologizing. I apologize. That's how I feel. I'm sorry I ever had sex for the first time, because now I too am a fallen woman. I am not the proverbial virgin that I should have been forever and ever, and I should have never done that. Well, that's all I wanted to say.
Well, I don't know how to say this, but I killed a man. He was giving me a hard time, and he was flashing money, so I killed him, and I took the money. I bought some heroin. I called up yesterday. I killed a man, but I called back because I wanted to explain the situation. See, I feel for myself, my own crime was sinful in a way, but I don't feel there's a need for an apology for it, because the guy that I shot him twice in the chest, and he was like dead on arrival. But the guy, he was a fucking beat artist. He was a rip-off artist. You know, he used to rip people off with beat heroin, and also he was a rapist. He raped this girl, like a neighborhood girl, and I didn't know the guy. Wasn't related to him, but still, I think a rapist is like the most filthiest crime, and he didn't get caught, and the judicial system is really fucked up. So I sort of felt like a vigilante of God. So I don't feel there's a need for an apology in this situation. I mean, I never was into ripping off. I never hurt anyone. I just carry a piece of self-defense. I know it's an illegal piece, and I'm carrying a risk. But if I try to get ripped off, I mean, it's my life. And if somebody breaks into my apartment, it's self-defense. And here in New York, with the situation the way it is, and also I don't think gun control will do a thing, because there's always, even if the government controls the manufacture of guns, there's always going to be mobsters that are going to...
I'm sorry, your dad has to jump in and say, I see you, I feel you, everybody talking about Diane Downs. What a crazy fucking bitch, right? Okay, I'm just going to say, she's a fucking crazy bitch. Pull up. You know what? We're derailing. We're derailing again. We're derailing, everyone. I'm going to show you some shit. You want dad to show you some shit? Check this out. Let's pull up Diane Downs. Oh, man, this is going to blow your fucking mind, folks. Hold on one second. Janelle from Teen Mom. Oh, man. Shit, you guys. If you know, everybody. Where's she at? Come here, Janelle. Yeah, hi. You're all high. Where is she? There she is. Come here, Janelle. Come here, Janelle. All right, check this out, y'all. Share screen. Boom. Y'all, do you see it? Do you see it? Tell me you see it. One's in the chat if you know what I'm fucking talking about. Kiefer, you're all high. Kiefer, you're a loser. Okay, Mr. What did she call him? Mr. Horrible? I don't remember. Yep. Kiefer, you're all high, and she's back on Teen Mom, you guys. She's fucking back, ready to fuck shit up, Jessica. Yikes, one, right? You see it? Like, and damn, Satan Sandwich. Well, I mean, at least real recognize real, right? You can see that shit. You know. No, I'm talking about Janelle, you guys. Do you see Janelle from Teen Mom? She got that Diane Downs situation going on. Oh. Yeah. It's sad how they look alike. I'm high. High. You're all high. Mr. What's she called? Mr. Horrible? Mr. Hilarious? I don't remember. Looks like the doppelganger. Yep. We're going to eat all the doughboys. No doughboys for you. Yep. And then the lead prosecutor on the case, right, tried to take the kids from the family. And now they're, if you guys don't know, look up Diane Downs kids family Facebook drama. Holy shit. Oh my God, David. You're talking about David Eason. Oh, what a piece of shit. Come for me, David. Come for me. Ugh. Yes, poor Satan Sandwich. Dude, I'm telling you. Darlene, you're high. That's according to Barb. Y'all, I'm telling you, Janelle is fucking, she's Diane, dude. It's scary. Oh my God. Oh my God. Don't get me started on Farrah. Farrah, you high. Anyway. Leah. Kraken. Oh my God. Leah owes so much in back taxes. What is she going to do? What is she going to do? Jessica, the only TikTok I ever loved of Janelle was the one that she did where it was like, what was that song? The Boardigans or the Backyardigans? Yeah, the Backyardigans. The Boardigans is a great band, but the Backyardigans song where she was like into the thick of it. Like when she did that, I was like, oh, look at her being a mom. And then I saw all her other dances and I was like, oh shit. This woman needs help. She skipped court for Kiefer. Okay, I'm sorry to anybody who doesn't watch Teen Mom. We'll do this another day. But yes, let's go back to the apology line. Here we go. I do have to stop sharing the screen because it's not going to let you hear it if I don't share this window again. So let's do that. Now, have we gotten him yet? Okay, we're going to get to Henry in a second. I took some notes on the caller that we're going to hear again. I'm going to tell you right now, I took a ton of notes, but I ain't perfect and I might have missed something. So if you want to take notes, I'm going to also link this below, and I'm going to link the podcast so that you can get into it, get heavy into it with your dad, because I want to do an episode where we go over possibilities for who this guy could be. And I do have sorry, I have the hiccups. I do have a name possibly for him. I can't remember if it was Bern or Bernie, but I have a bunch of notes. And I've just been, oh yes, I love the backyardigans. They're so cute. And somebody told me, by the way, that hold on, I'm going to cancel this share real quick. Somebody told me that Alicia Keys sang for the backyardigans. Is that true? I could just look it up, but one of you might know. I don't know. I have to go back and see what y'all were talking about in West Virginia. We're going, actually, let's derail again so we can end on the apology line, because that was pretty fucking heavy. But we are going to come back to it because, God bless you, kids. Science bless you, kids. You're all high, but you're paying attention. Listen, Jessica Crockett, bless you, hun. You're my favorite kid. Don't tell the others. Listen, something happened that I saw on Reddit, and I went, oh my goodness. And I said, I need to show this to my children because I'm just slipping into all kinds of accents. Because you might know who this person is. He said Bernie. Yeah, that's what it is. Bernie. Okay, so I'm showing you this. It's on Grateful Doe on Reddit. Here's the deal. A woman was found in West Virginia. There isn't much on her that they're relaying other than these are her tattoos, and I believe they are located on the calf. She has been found, and they're trying to figure out what her identity is. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'll tell you straight up what this is. This is Nightmare Before Christmas scene that we have here. Let me take the comment down so y'all can see it all. This is the Nightmare Before Christmas scene on her leg. And over here, we've got more like Nightmare Before Christmas characters. She also has Evil Happy Bunny, which, funny story about me and a sad subject, my mom used to only get me Happy Bunny stuff for Christmas for almost a decade because she thought I fucking loved Happy Bunny. In reality, I briefly worked at a Spencer's and they unloaded a bunch of Happy Bunny magnets on me. So when she saw them, she went, oh shit, my kid loves Happy Bunny. And I was like, no, that shit's weird, Mom. But she just kept buying me Happy Bunny stuff. So this girl got a Happy Bunny tattoo. If you remember, you remember. It's like her evil bunny, whatever they called it. And it's got little devil horns. She got a star. She got this design, whatever that is. And then there's another Jack Skellington Pumpkin King style tattoo. So that's a great question. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, there is a tattoo of this exact same background, like this exact same tattoo being given by a tattoo artist on TikTok who people have already reached out to. But I can tell you, I mean, I might not be perfect at most things, but I did tat for a while. And there are some very, I think, obvious differences between the two. There's some spatial difference, and you can kind of tell that it's not just a degradation thing. It's not just a mortis or the fact that she's dead or a thing that has to do with anything involving, plasma, blood, DNA, whatever. It doesn't have anything to do with discoloration due to death. It's like an obvious artistic difference between the two, but it is the same exact design. So basically, it looks like somebody went yoink and took that design maybe from what they saw on TikTok and tried to get an artist to give it to them who perhaps was not as skilled as that original artist. So if you go find that on TikTok and go, oh my God, I found it, they've already fucking been down that road, that is hilarious. Dream of a hive. Do not show John Ray those tats. He will say she murdered and ate herself. Y'all are fucking funny tonight. Yeah, love happy migrant. So I thought it was just funny, that I had them on my fridge, and also the one that was like, I'm going to get some dick, and it's that Jane Meets Dick kit. Like, it's just stupid shit that we sold at the mall. My mom was like, she must really fucking love Happy Bunny. And then one time I suggested we play Monopoly, and then my mom's like, she fucking loves Monopoly, and just bought them for me every year. And I was like, I don't like Monopoly, Mom. My mom's the sweetest. Broke my heart to tell her I fucking hate that bunny, but love her and love that she was so perceptive. So I wore everything she gave me. But anyway, let's see if I can pull this up, because here, I'll show you guys. I'm going to see if I can, because they comment with the TikTok. Is that church? Hold on, we're getting there. There it is. Okay, hold on. Let me pause this. Oh my, so loud. Stop. Hold on. I'm going to turn this down so you guys aren't blessed in the ears, so to speak. All right, I'm going to present. Getting pretty decent at this. Okay, share that. Your dad's got Hank Hill smoking on his picture. All right, let's see. So this is and I'm going to make it big so you guys can see it all. This is the tattoo that it looks like. Okay. So let's do this. Let's see if I can. Let me try to pull it up next to it. Whoopsie. Hey, your mommy fucked up. Your daddy fucked up. Sorry. I was looking at my dog when I said that. Okay, I'm going to try to put these next to each other. Let's see. My computer always tries to turn it into something it's not. Okay. Doop, 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 doop. Yeah, it is a really cool tattoo. Okay, let me share the screen as a whole. You're not going to get to hear that badass music, but we can't all be badasses. Oh, let's hide. Hold on. I respect it, and I'm going to show you. Okay, let's share the entire screen. There we go. All right, you guys see that? Is that good? I want to make this bigger, though. But I also want to get... I'm in danger. Okay, let's see. We'll just start it over. You can get the idea of it. I'm trying my best. Okay, let's pause. Oh, hand down. No, dude, move your fucking hand. There we go. Do you see kind of the difference here? How this one, I mean, that's the thing. It does look so much like it is it, you know? And I'm thinking the degradation could be why, but these colors, the way that they're popping right here, and some of the subtle differences with the size, I'm not too sure. Like, and also the space between these two, it just looks a little off. Simultaneously, it's like the same tattoo, right? I mean, people are pretty much going wild saying, oh yes, this is it. And it is on the calf. I mean, I think this could be it. They haven't gotten back to them, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It does look different, right? It does shrink when you're dead. That's a good point. And another thing is when you get older and your skin stretches, you got 7 layers of dermis, right? If you have something like eczema or psoriasis, that's going to change kind of the rate at which you peel and how the pigment holds. But at the same time, there's a couple of things about this that make me just think, even if like you were totally drained of blood, there's just some artistic things that are a little different. Like, see how it's not connected right here? I wish I could make it bigger. Oh, wait, I was pointing on my own. See how it's not connected? There's like a little line right here, and there's no real connection. Over here, it literally comes out. You see what I mean? There's just a difference like this. Now, this could possibly be like just an issue with maybe when it was healing, the person scratched it and made a scar. So it does make me wonder. What do you guys think? That's 100% the same one, yes, according to Walk Among the Tombstones. But I'm wondering, is it a different artist trying to do a take on that artist? And see, yes, the red patch is like, this is all skin, this is all blood. There's like a lot of blood, I think. So I'm curious what you guys think about this. It is definitely the same. Oh, see, that's the thing. I don't know if it's the same artist, but I think it's the same art. Yeah, and that's a good point. You know, so this is on the person's calf. So you got to think, you know, they're in West Virginia. I'm wondering, like, did the person, I mean, how long later was this, if it is them? But there's just some tiny things. But at the same time, oh no, I'm really split on this one. I think I would love to see more of it. But then okay, let's take this away. When you look at this, it kind of looks like a totally different artist. You know what I mean? And it's very thick on the lining. So I just don't know, you guys. It's very, and this one's much brighter, but also we don't know, you know, we don't really know what happens at the top of this piece. So typically whenever a tattoo artist does a massive sleeve or a leg or something this intricate, they'll not only document it, sometimes on TikTok nowadays or on Instagram, but they will put their portfolios on the tattoo website. So my thought was immediately, okay, it was someone who likely, if it was a, person who took the art, because this was done by an artist. A lot of these artists, they will design their own pieces, just like my Tarantino piece is done. Like the artists typically, especially this guy, as I was looking through his stuff, he has his own very unique style. And there was actually a woman named Amina Munster. This is weird that I know this, but she was a suicide girl, if you know anything about that subculture. And she got a chess piece that said dead men tell no tales. And it was a very intricate chess piece that she got in the early 2000s. And it was so amazing. And then a different tattoo artist saw it and did it on a client. And she sued them, and the artist sued them. And it was basically almost like a mini class action situation, because a collective of artists supported her and said, you should be allowed to copyright tattoos. And so you actually can. And to this day, Mike Tyson has to pay a fee every time his face is on television or in a movie, because his tattoo was stolen and copywritten, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's Tyson. But yeah, copyright is a big thing. And Amina was the first person to pretty much challenge that in a court of law and say, yo, you know, yeah, Kat Von D got sued. Like, people get sued for stealing other people's artwork. So what people on Reddit are saying is, hey, let's contact the artist. A, see if this is the Jane Doe. B, if it's not, let's see if he is in any active lawsuits against any other artists, or if he happens to know if anyone stole this, because a lot of these guys, they'll put their portfolio on the website for the actual tattoo shop that they work out of. So that's pretty much what they're doing. So, oh, hello. Good day. Good day. Your dad's boyfriend's home. Okay. So I just wanted to show you guys that. What's weird is I did work with a girl and just kind of knew her from the dorm in college in North Texas many years ago, who has a very similar piece, but this really does look like a ripoff of this newer one. So I don't think it's her. But yeah, exactly. It's why you cover tattoos for movies and TV. And when I've done extra work, they've made me cover my tattoos because of my Tarantino stuff. It does depend also on if it's an independent film. So yeah, it's a very interesting case. This is in West Virginia. Let's see, because one of you asked where. Lincoln County, you guys, West Virginia. And if you recognize that tattoo, you can call the sheriff's department at 304-824-3101. So that's fun. Okay, now we're going to, let me stop sharing. Here's what I want to do, because it's getting to be about that time, you guys. It's bedtime for you fucking kids. You've been up too late and your mom's going to chew my ass. Listen, I'm going to put back on Henry. We're going to listen one more time. It's about 5 minutes. I'm going to leave the link below. And actually, we'll just end on that. We're going to end on that. I'm going to play it out for a bit. And I just want to say thank you guys so much. Take your notes. And next time we talk, we're going to be talking about this kid, Henry. I want you to go see who you think it is. I'm not going to tell you who I think it is. The reason I'm showing this to you, it's a test of your OSINT skills, everyone. No, the reason I want to do it that way is because I'm curious if anybody else thinks it's who I think. And I feel like the best way to test that is to see who else comes up with who. And if we pick the same one, then that really like boosts, the believability of it all. It makes me think maybe we should pursue this, but one of you might find someone totally different, and you might go, hey, check this one out. And I think it would be a good practice for a live cold case deep dive, but from a different angle. So instead of being given a cold case and researching it using OSINT, we're actually going to research what the cold case could be. Does that make sense? So I do think we could find Henry. I think that it's also odd because I couldn't find much of anything on the investigation into this person. Ow, I just scratched a bug bite. That hurt. I couldn't find much into the investigation into this person, into if anything was done. And I'm also going to put a link in the description of this to show you Mrs. Apology's podcast and a link into what happened to Mr. Apology and where, because again, very interesting location. Also, I want to ask you guys, what the fuck is going on in the LISK Reddit? Everybody said there was a lot of FBI in Boston today. And they're like, oh, it's Rex. It must be Rex. And I'm like, what? Baston? Baston? What, was he in there diving for fucking tea? What do you guys think? So comment below. I'm going to play you out on this. I love you so much. I thank you. I agree with you, Tea and Wildflowers. Let's find Henry. And I want to see if you come up with the same person that I think it could be. And if you don't, let's look at the ones you do come up with, because I don't think anybody's looking at this shit that way. I think they're looking at the newer apology line for who Mr. Apology was hunting for. But I'm like, what about this fucking guy? If it's the same guy, what about that fucking guy? Anyway, yeah, where are you, Satan? Oh, I thought you were talking to Satan in general. You're talking Satan sandwich. Fair enough. Okay, I love you guys. I'm going to play you out on this. And I'm just going to let it play for until we're done with Henry, or the guy who, Bernie or whatever. It's not Bernie Sanders. I already checked. I'm just kidding. But I love you guys. Good night. Thank you so much for listening. Be a sweet baked potato. Be a curious baked potato. Just be a potato, but don't be an evil potato. And thank you for being in my cult. And yeah, I love you so much. Here we go. Good night. Awkward while I try to pull it back up. Okay, there we go.
Sell guns to criminals, and that's going to leave the honest people unarmed. You know what I mean? So I don't feel there's any need at all for an apology, because I never hurt anyone, and I'm an honest man. He deserved it. bloody rapist and thief. He deserved it. So I'm a vigilante of God. I never hurt anyone.
Well, for once, I think this is a really original idea. My name is Mary. I'm not going to say my last name because I know you play these in public because I heard you on the radio. I steal from stores all the time. I really feel guilty. And I can't stop. I'm like what you call a kleptomaniac. And my friends make fun of me sometimes too. I don't know what to do. But I can't tell my mother. I've been caught before too, and I've been caught so many times. I've been to court and everything, and I can't stop. Well, and I lie all the time. I'm a bad girl. I smoke pot and everything. I don't know how I'm going to clean up. Well, talking to your tape recorder, I don't know, makes me feel a little bit better. But,
I just called to say I'm real sorry that I raped so many girls. I'm a rapist in the West Coast. I'm just calling on this. Frontline told you about it. I wish I could help myself, but I can't. I love young ones. I love little girls. I've raped 52 right now. I wish I could help myself. So all I can say is I'm sorry. I'm too scared to talk about it now, but I'll call you again tomorrow. Thanks. I've been snatching gold for the last 3 weeks. You know, I don't really feel too good about it or anything. By the way, my name is Ralph. You know, I have one for me right now. You know, but
These are from 80 to 81, everyone. Okay, wait. Sorry. This is important. Also, hello, Chai, guilty of crime. Which we got an update on that car. I do have to tell everyone I got the paperwork for the car situation. They said $3,253 for the cat convert. I called the dealership and it was $1,800 through them and like $570 through AutoZone. Dude, I told you they're fucking with you. Which you can't let them fuck with you. Don't let them fuck with you. So I will write a review on the mechanic shop because that's just not you're right, and you should. And if you want your dad to sign it and say, quit trying to fuck over my daughter, you just send it my way. Yeah, she has a Prius. Wait, who has a Prius? I'm sorry, I'm lost. Okay, here, we are going to we're going to get back to this. And here's the thing, you can call from your home phone, from your pay phone. He wasn't tracking the calls. And this specific one was 1980 to 1981. So just keep that in mind. And which I'm so proud of you, hon. I'm glad you embraced life and you sought out other options. You saw you were getting fucked over, and now you're going to take them to task. And I love that for you. This is great advice, C. Smith. Rock Auto is great for cheap parts. So is it Harbor Freight y'all were talking about? And then so is Car Parts, and so is Napa will give you brake lines and bend them for you and charge you $15. And if you go anywhere else, it's like really expensive. But yeah, tell Percosin whose ass Percosin has to kick. Everybody say hi to your sister, guilty of crime. Yeah, he said he was in school with Henry, so maybe murdered 15 years prior. Agree. I narrowed down some times, but I want to see what you guys think. I want you to just again, I'm going to put the link below. So if you want to go back and re-listen to it, I'm going to put the link for the whole thing over and over and over again. If you want to listen to it, you can, but I highly suggest just kind of take note of things that you notice and get back to me if you happen to look into it and find anybody, and we'll compare. So again, proud of you for all of your mechanic needs and all of you for grabbing life by the balls and saying, I'm not paying that much for a cat converter. My name is Jen McCabe and I will freak out. Okay. I'm going to end this by playing you out on this. And when Henry's done, or when Bernie's done, we're going to fucking find Henry, you guys. We're finding him. And then I'm going to dip. I love you so much. This is the last you'll hear from me. Goodbye.
I'm still taking a chance because it's the only way I can survive. I have nowhere to live.
Also, when I say this is the last you'll hear from me, I don't mean forever. Your dad's going to come back. He's just getting smokes. But, like, not tonight, tomorrow. Okay.
You know, and like, in the very near future, you know, I hope to strike big enough so I won't have to do any more crime. And I really think this will better me, really, for the simple fact that I'm holding it on my chest, and it's just a matter of elimination now. It's just a little matter of elimination. And while I'm talking to whoever's on the other end of this tape, I feel it's somewhat relief. Though I know that I did the crime and it's wrong. Thank you very much.
What if I quit making Custer to look like a good guy? He was a good guy. He was no good. He was selling white trash, and the Indians knew he was selling white trash. And this is my apology. I'm telling you that's the truth. He was no good. What if we quit making him look like a good guy? He was a bad guy. He was evil. He was a murderer. But the Indians said. And I mean it. And I want this name. I live in the country. I live in the country. It better be all... No. It better be new. The country. That's the thing, man. I didn't do anything wrong, but I still want this thing with that stupid-ass General Custer resolved, because I want it known the world over that the Indians were the good guys, and I'm going to keep on calling like this until this thing's publicized, and it better be on the news on TV. I mean it, and it better be in the papers. Because he was a no-good, rotten bastard and a murderer. I would say more than the son of Sam.
That was wild. I forgot about the son of Sam shout out. Sorry, for real, I'm gone now. All right, bye.
It better be publicized. I'm not kidding. Because if this was back during those times, there'd be a lot of butchered bodies, and that'd be soldier boys that bodies would be butchered.
Soldier Boy shout out to Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy, like woo and woo, make the woo. Anyway, for real, I'm gone this time. Here we go.
I mean, butchered like they were hogs. Right now, I don't have any more to say, but I want it to be clear to you, and I mean it, because the Indians got treated.
Also, doesn't he sound drunk? He's like, and I got another thing to say. It's just where he sounds drunk. He sounds drunk.
Badly. Wrongly. And there's not one son of a bitch with its whites that better not disregard.
Listen, I think the funniest shit I've ever seen in chat ever in my life is what you motherfuckers are doing right now. You are siding with him. You're like, you know what? He's right about Custa. What the fuck? Y'all are crazy.
I did. I mean it. He played a part of General Custer, and sometimes that says something about a person playing an evil part. I think he's evil too. And I'm hanging up now. Okay? Well, you better publicize this.
I'm gonna be honest, I regret publicizing this, but I mean, listen, fuck that guy. He fucking sucks. You know, I do not endorse anything he says, but sounds fucking wasted, right? And also, we have, like, this is part of it. This is what we got to hear to figure out who are these fucking people. I'm focused on the guy who is talking about Henry, but, and also, yeah, I'm hanging up now, okay? Like, what am I going to fucking stop you? It's the apology line, dude. Chill.
Yeah, hi. I've been married for some time now. And me and my wife haven't had sex for about 15 years. Every morning I get up,
To be clear, Custer was a horrible person. I'm just fucking with you guys.
go to the bathroom. I just jack off. And that's it. That's my sex life. We have problems now because I'm always angry about that. When I come home from work, I'm angry. She doesn't know why. I tell her. There's no change. Goodbye.
I bet it's Gray Pubes. I bet he's the one I bet Gray Pubes is the one doing this. I bet he's the one who did that shit to Henry. I'm sorry. That was inappropriate, but also fuck him, dude. Here we go.
Yeah. I don't know how to start. I've never heard or did anything like this before. I guess what I do is I just say I'm sorry, just apologize, and then everything is all right for the different, those bad things the things I've done in my past. I want to, first of all, this is a great service. I've been feeling guilty about some.
I will go back a little so you guys can hear. This is the start of Henry. That the last blurb we're gonna hear from him. I do not know how tall Napoleon or Custer were. I do apologize for that. Yes, I do think this is Bernie. I keep saying Henry because I'm thinking of that fucking kid, but we're talking about Bernie. No, it's not Bernie Sanders. Yes, it could be Gray Pubes. It's either him or Ted Cruz. Okay. Yeah, he is a crusty turd. Are we talking about, you know what? I'm curious. It's so crazy how Jennifer Coffenschnapper and that dude, man, all these motherfuckers getting arrested for being on property they shouldn't be on is such a metaphor. Okay. Yes, this is Bernie. I have no idea if he is as short as Custer or as you guys are so fucking weird and funny. I love it. Yes, he's a filthy little Bernie. He's a bad Bernie. He's grounded. But also we need to find Bernie and find out who Henry is, because that's my main concern. A lot of these people are racist, filthy animals, pieces of shit, horrible husbands, bad people, bad fathers. They're just bad pieces of shit. Some of them are evil women. They're all just fucking nasty fucks. That's why they got to apologize. Some of them are incredibly sad and they shouldn't have to apologize. And they're just in awful situations. But right now we're going to focus on Bernie because he's the one that freaks me the fuck out. And then, anyways, I swear to God, this is the last time, kids. I just cannot stop looking at your side chats and it's so fucking funny. Like, this is your, what is it called? Shit. Your empire, Byzantine Empire. What are they calling it? Anyway, it doesn't fucking matter. Your dad's tired. All right, here we go.
Apologize, and then everything is all right for the different, those bad things the things I've done in my past. I want to, first of all, this is a great service. I've been feeling guilty.
Okay, I swear to God, this is the last fucking time I'm coming in. But can we just I miss it too, which. I just want to say I miss ICQ so much. It was so fuck, dude. Yes, dude. Yes. Permission to bring back ICQ. Let's all figure it out. I want it back. And Trillion. And I miss Yahoo Messenger and AOL. I said it. AIM. Fuck. Oh yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe because YouTube keeps sending me shit that's like, you don't suggest enough to like and subscribe your shit, you dumb bitch. And I'm like, well, listen, I'm not asking you, YouTube. And they're like, this is just unsolicited advice. I got your numbers up. And I'm like, I don't care about my numbers. And then I throw a tray of asparagus against the wall like an American Beauty. Anyway, yeah, so like it, subscribe. Do not feel obligated to donate, but if you do, I am trying to buy my dog a Spurs jersey. Anyway, other than that, love you guys. This is really it. I am starting about don't own my word at AIM. Do not judge your father. I do miss taxi cab you guys. We're gonna be here all day. That is asparagus abuse. I did not think about that, and I do respect the asparagus, and it's a great crop. I apologize to all asparagus. I didn't mean that. Yes, this is a throwback, you guys. We talk about, and also fuck Grey Gooch, dude. You know what? Fuck him. He's stupid. I don't give a shit about that dude. He sucks, dude. I want to save that dog. He has to look at his dumb ass all the fucking time. Yeah, taxi cab. Do you guys remember Hard Copy? That's what my original background was based on. Hard Copy. That shit was the shit. Asparagus. Oh my God, Tiff, I'm going to think about this for a week. Oh, you fucked me up just now. Asparagus. Is it platypi or platypusi or platypus? Platypussies? Platypusi? Platypi? What is it? Dude, I don't even drink. I don't drink, but if I did, I wouldn't drink Grey Goose because it has a fucking name in it. In all seriousness, that dude can eat shit. I don't like that dude. I don't like the way he talks to people. I don't like the way he is as a person. I don't like his personality or how he behaves in general. I think he's a little too sassy. I think he needs to get his shit together. I don't think he respects wood. No, I'm just kidding. But that's a Curb reference. And if you got that, you're all right in my book, kids. But seriously, fuck that guy. He probably did this, but regardless, let's keep listening.
Guilty about some of the things. I'm going to tell you what I did, but I mean, I've been feeling
And also,
guilty
I'm
about
really
them, and I
going this
haven't been
time.
doing them recently. But the opportunity you've given me to apologize and tell these people that I'm sorry, it's fantastic, because then I don't feel guilty anymore. I mean, I can start doing them again, right? In other words, I just say I'm sorry, and then that's okay. And there's no more guilt. There's no more problems. I don't have to worry about police or courts or anything. Oh, you're a fantastic person. But, well, first of all, I guess going all the way back when I was a kid, there's my cousin, Louise. I raped her when she was, I don't know, about 9, 10 years old. What do? I just say I'm sorry? I'm sorry, Louise. Yeah, I realize now.
That would be something to note. Louise. That would be something to note, right? I would note that. This person's going to have a cousin in their family tree named Louise. She's probably not going to like him that much. Okay. I'm going to keep going. Sorry. And yeah, he is fucking annoying, you guys. I'm going to keep popping back at. Listen, your dad thought that him and his boyfriend were going to eat pasta. But then your dad's boyfriend put on a headset, which means it's Fortnite time over there. Which means your dad can link her. Ah, shit, he can hear. Never mind. Here we go.
Now I shouldn't have done it. Of course, I was 19 at the time. I didn't know that. Didn't know any better. I'm sorry, Louise. Oh, so everything's all right now, huh? Well, let's see. There's Henry. I killed Henry. He was a neighbor. He was a
neighbor. So this guy lived near Henry or next door to him. So we're looking for a potential guy named Bernie Could be wrong on that. This could all be bullshit. But we're looking for a Bernie. We're looking for a guy who had a neighbor that died named Henry and a cousin named Louise.
Classmate of mine. The thing is that
And the neighbor was a classmate.
it was in the woods, and I hit him over and over again with that.
Blunt force trauma, body's going to be found in the woods. I do want to point out that when discussing interrogations and confessions with one of my with one of my professors who helped craft a confession for a Canadian serial killer that's very well known, we were talking about the difference between, when someone's confessing a lie and when someone's telling the truth. And he said that when it comes to like the weapons used or the method or the means, the MO, stuff like that. And you can even see this in Israel Keyes' confessions. It's pretty much on brand with Keyes, Bundy, Green River Killer. One of the few who didn't adhere to this would be like BTK and Ed Kemper. They were pretty open and honest, it seems, about what they did eventually. But they did lie about other things later, and we found that out. Same with Rifkin, right? They told the truth about a specific number. So it seems that Keyes is also possibly following that pattern, but he did outwardly say, I'm not telling you some. So it's not like he was lying about how many people he killed. He told them, I'm not going to tell you, right? But a lot of the times, while they'll have the injury correct, the weapon might be a little different. In every single confession or truth, if you will, there's still always a little lie. And it's usually the part they're the most ashamed about or they're most scared of getting caught for. So I want you to keep that in mind, because he's talking about a rock, right? But one of the ones that I found, they said that it was potentially a baseball bat. So that's your hint to the one I'm looking at. However, the trauma can be skewed as far as well, not the trauma, but the weapon that's chosen to make that trauma or used because it's there. It kind of all involves a lot of specificity when it comes to confession and all the evidence lining up for that confession to be found real. So a lot of the serial killers that we see in jail now that are in there for confession, they will want to withhold to get something in exchange. This guy is not really in that position. So anytime we hear a lie from him, whether it's the whole thing or a little part of it, the only reason to do that would be to not be ID'd or shame. I don't know about you, but I get the idea that this motherfucker has no shame. But I do get the idea that he speaks of things like he is ashamed, but he seems to be fairly transparent with that. He also seems to be very mocking. Almost like, oh, this is the best. I could just relieve myself. Almost like he's angry at Mr. Apology for giving him this outlet, right? So I think that part of his personality dynamic is very interesting. I agree with you, Michelle. I'm thinking 35 to 40 around this time. Now, if this is 1980, even if it's 81, the best place I think for us to start is work backwards from 1980. Presume 5 or 10 years younger or older than you actually think, because I've met some older guys with really high pitched voices, and I've met really young guys with very adult sounding voices. So you also have to give weight to, the idea that he seems very frantic right now, so his voice might change a little bit age wise, but I think you're right. I think 35 to 40. So what I like to do, and this is just what I like to do, this is just my advice. If you think 35 to 40, then you're going to want to look 30 to 45. Does that make sense? Always add and subtract 5 years. And I would even say the same with Jane Doe's, because age can change a little, But there are with less bones, if you will. But if you have enough bones, there are some things that you can absolutely tell. And if you have enough of a cadaver, you can tell if there's a C-section. You can tell sometimes based on the body if somebody has reached puberty yet. It's all about the condition. But right here, we're just going with what this psycho fuck is telling us, right? I think that it would be, yes, I would say whatever number you guys come up with. I agree with you. I do think it's going to be 35 to 40, but for the sake of what to look for as far as possibilities, I would say look for 30 to 45 or 25 to, you know what I mean? Take 5 years and add it to what you think. Because somebody else might think he sounds 50, so same rules apply. You know what I mean? I'm saying no matter what you think, just add 5 and subtract 5 from the lowest and the highest. And that kind of opens you up to not miss something, if that makes sense. Simultaneously, I do want to point out that there are some very interesting things that we can narrow down here that are unique to this guy. We know he's from the Northeast. This guy's not a Texan. He's not from Arizona. He's not calling collect to do this. And if you were alive in the 80s and remember, sometimes most of the time when you call someone collect, it's going to have like that collect dial tone situation at the beginning, or they're going to have to accept the call, right? So we know that this guy is calling from either a payphone or from a home phone. I believe I actually need to go back and re-listen if he's the one. A couple of people mentioned payphones. I feel like he mentions it. I saw you guys mentioning it, but that is a possibility. So we just know that he's not calling from a jail and he's not calling from a mental institution. Back then, there would typically be a situation where it would, at least this is what I've read and what I remember, is that there would be a situation where it would give you a dial tone and ask if you accept a call, stuff like that. I feel, yes, I agree, Walk Among Us, or Walk Among the Tombstones. It hasn't had, it would have to be like upstate New York, maybe, that they're calling from, but at the same time, he could be from there, but actively be during the call in the city, right? So we need to keep in mind that we're also looking at where this guy grew up as opposed to where he is now. So I'm glad that you said that. And by now, I mean now in the atmosphere of this call, right? Sorry, gots to hydrate. So I mean it's possible. And here's the thing, he talks about and by the way, C. Smith said Suffolk County. He did, in fact, I believe, die right there. Actually, you know what? Since your dad's boyfriend's playing the Fortnites, let me see if I can pull up Mr. Holland. Might even have it in my notes. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull up this page and show you guys something. Let me show you. You see your dad's horrible kiss tattoo that got severely infected because they used a recalled ink that was supposed to glow in the dark, but instead it made your dad hurt and gave him a rash. Okay, let's see. This is Mr. Apology. This is Allan Bridge. He died in 1995. So he had this answer machine, and he would record, which you kids know as voicemails. He would record these people. Interesting. He's from Virginia too. This is his wife, Mrs. Apology. And see, this is the actual ad. Ooh, this is exciting. Let me show you guys this. I'm going to stop the screen so I can pull this up. Oh, I wish I could make it bigger. Yes, I can. Oh, well, maybe I have to zoom in. All right, here we go. Let me show it to you. Don't look at my horrible ace. Freely and Paul Stanley. Fuck, I need to get that covered up. Okay. Attention, amateurs, professionals, criminals, blue collar, white collar. You have wronged people. It is to people that you must apologize, not the state, not to God. Get your misdeeds off your chest. Call Apology, 212-255-2748. The idea of apology is to provide a way for people to apologize for their wrongs against people without jeopardizing themselves. Apology will automatically tape record your anonymous phone call. Do not identify yourself and call from a payphone to prevent tracing. So he even tells you call from a payphone. Describe in detail what you have done and how you feel about it. When enough statements have been collected, they will be played to the public at a time and place to be advertised. Apology is a private experiment. Its sole purpose is to provide a new avenue of communication. It is not associated in any way with the police, governmental, religious, or other organizations. When you call, you will be alone with the tape recorder. Isn't that fun, you guys? So what's interesting about this is that this guy put this out and people just trusted him. And they were like, okay. And then some people called and they were pissed and they were like, who are you? Are you the fucking government? Like, there's a guy who really freaks out and he threatens, like, this guy gets threatened so much, but also they don't know who he is. So a lot of them were like, you prove yourself to me. And the confrontations that he would get into when he was doing this and he was actually going back and forth with people, which was a new era of the apology line, that was when it got wild. And that's when the communication with the serial killer began and him trying to find this guy. And the trick was to not let that guy know that he was trying to find him, even though he was, and I believe he was actively working with someone who was a friend of his in law enforcement or who knew someone in law enforcement and then eventually with law enforcement. But I don't know that they ever took it that seriously. So he made it his life's mission to find this douchebag. And yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, he said, I know a friend who works with the phone company. To me, that sounds like I work with the fucking phone company, right? Because a lot of the times when people are trying to hide stuff, even if they're getting it off their chest, he can't say too much, right? So he's going to speak in hypotheticals. Yeah. So it is an interesting social experiment, Serenity. And that's why I fell in love with Postmates, because I was reading all these postcards and some of them are hilarious and some of them are crazy. Like the thing that I remember when I was talking to the author, I asked him, like, because I knew that the abuse ones were hard to handle and stuff, but I got to talk to him and I was like, what was like the funniest kind of lane that got collected? Like the one that you thought was, oh, I didn't expect this. And he told me something about how like there was just a lot of women who were like trying to poison their husbands, but he didn't find it funny so much as like, oh my God, like shocking funny. Like women who are like, oh, my husband pissed me off, so I put this in his coffee to give him diarrhea. Like stuff like that. Not like to kill him, just to make his life miserable. What the fuck, ladies? Like, we're crazy. It's crazy that there were so many of those. Yeah, he does sound really crazy, doesn't he? Do you guys like this stuff? Like, is this weird? Is this like, whoa, this is too much, Dad? Dad, I'm not old enough for this. Like, what? Or are you loving it? Is this your cup of tea? What kind of tea do you kids like? Do you like Earl Grey or chamomile? You love it? You love this. Fuck yes. Okay, you like being scared. Good to know. Your dad's really good at scaring the kids. It is weird, right? And it's also like, here's the thing is like, no one's going to call this a cold case really because it's not, but it should be maybe. But again, like, you need evidence, you need charges, you need things to convict someone of something. And just because someone calls and said crazy shit in 1980, the cops are going to jump up at it, you know? But also, what if Henry's parents never listened to this shit? I mean, how many of you guys listened to? Oh my God, that's the question. Put a 1 in the chat if you remember this and actively called in. You don't have to say what you said, or if you listened to it. I'm very curious. Because I've met one woman who was like, oh yeah, I called in. And I was like, what? And all I'll say is she worked with me in radio a long time ago. And I was like, what did you say? Because she lived in New York and worked in radio. And she was like, I'm not going to fucking tell you. And I actually was like, damn, when they put all this out on YouTube, I was like, ooh, I'm going to go see if I can find her. I still haven't found her, I don't think. It is scary, right? I mean, I was a little kid in the 80s, but like I was all about New Kids on the Block and I want to listen to Vanilla Ice and I want to like who's Sublime? What's Allison J? I was like pushing boundaries. I remember like when Kurt Cobain died, I was just about to be a teen and I was kind of miserable because I thought he was hot. But I also was into the creepy shit. Like I read a bunch of books about Ted Bundy because between you and me, I hadn't found my biological dad yet, and my mom hadn't either, and she was looking. And I didn't have a stepdad yet, so I had a single mom, and the only picture I did have of my biological dad, he looked just like Ted Bundy. So I used to think I was like, Mom, did you fucking smash with Ted Bundy? Am I that fucking girl? Am I gonna, Mom? Like, I really thought my mom was like fucking secretly Carol Ann Boone because she had the glasses. And I did read Anne Rule at a young age. So, like, yeah, it was just crazy. I did not want Kurt to be my dad, but I thought, I was like, dude, did my mom fuck Ted Bundy? She didn't. But yeah, I had the sheets, I had the dolls, and I had a bowl cut with a huge gap, and I couldn't them of my effeth. I was such a fucking cute kid. Hell yeah, Adam, get her done. So did anybody, you heard about this on a podcast, Dude the Shoot? Yeah, it was probably the Apology Line podcast, right? Grunge was fucking awesome. Mia Zapata came on. I was just watching last night. I went to sleep watching like Forensic Files, of course. And the Mia Zapata case came on. If you don't know about that, look her up. Serial killer from Cuba killed a woman in Seattle in the grunge era, and she was in a band called The Gits. She was the lead singer. God, so sad. Well, also this went on for a long time, I think. I'm pretty sure that Apology Line, how long did it go? It went till like the mid 90s. What's odd is right when Apology Line was gone, that's when Howard Stern got really big in New York. Like it was big before that, but that's when it got like people kind of craved a place they could call into and talk to someone who was non-judgmental, if anything, just as perverse as whoever was calling, you know? So this was more like a local, almost like an underground version of Stern. When Stern left the underground and went mainstream, this was it. So yeah, Seattle? Wait, Cyborg Mama. Yeah, that was Seattle. Mia Zapata was Seattle, and KOTB ruled, and they're back on tour, you guys. And that tour looks sick. I can't remember who's on it, but it looks really good. Yeah, Adam and the Ants. And then that whole like the whole sub pop underground like Seattle grunge culture was insane. And what was crazy is Mia Zapata's last song she ever wrote and performed was about the serial killer that was killing women. And then she ended up it was about how there was a serial killer she thought killing women and how they did it. And then that's what happened to her. Like she was the next victim. It was fucked up. And she was wearing a Walkman. That's how like, whoa. Yeah. Okay. Serenity. Crazy story about your dad. When he was in college, he had those tapes and they actually had handwriting on them that very recognizable. And I had a Susie Sue and the Banshees cassette and the Bangles and Slippery When Wet. And they were all like burned cassette, or not burned, but recorded cassettes, had handwriting on it. My house got broken into, my apartment in college. Someone jacked them. Fast forward a couple months, your dad's at a place. I think I recommended one of you go to it. I meant the bookstore, but it was a place called Treasure Isle. And it was like a comic book shop next to the Tomato in Denton. And I remember walking in there and I saw my cassettes and I was like, what the fuck? And I told them, like, someone robbed my apartment, give me these cassettes. And they were like, no, ma'am. You're not leaving with those. They cost 99 cents each. And I was like, I'm not paying for my own fucking cassettes. And so I grabbed them and I left. And then a cop tapped on my shoulder. I was like, get the fuck back here. And they kept me in the back like Pulp Fiction Gimp style for like 3 hours and yelled at me and made me cry. And then they gave me a ticket and made me give back my fucking cassettes to these hosers. And then I was banned forever. I tried to go back like 10 years later, right? I don't know if it's still there, if it closed, but it was right before the last time I recall seeing, I feel like it moved or it closed down, but I remember trying to go in there and they were like, nope, and they still had my fucking picture up. But yeah, no, they have them. They stole them from me. Whoever gave it to that fucking place. And I had a bunch of them. Like I used to, there's one that was called like Hamster Presents, and then there was one that was, it was all like Jerky Boys underground type of cassettes that belonged to my aunt, her friends, random people. I would go to this place in San Antonio called Hog Wild Records, and just kind of anywhere, CD exchange, if I found a burnt cassette or CD, I would buy it, or a record, anything that had a personal, like a VHS that was a home video, I'd buy it. I miss Art Bell so much. Never heard of Apology Line. Yeah, me neither, until it popped up, and then I was like, oh, they are comforting. I don't know why. 92 and 97. Damn. So your kids are younger than me. Let me see. So nobody here remembers this? Nobody here did this? Have you ever heard of the phone booth in the middle of nowhere in the Mojave Desert? People called in to see who answered. What? No, send it. Will you email it to me? We'll look at it on the next live. When I was in Seattle, I went to that soda machine because I used to go there for vacation a lot. And I would go to this mystery soda machine. You put a quarter in and you hit it, and then a mystery soda comes out, and it's usually like an old weird flavor. And I got I think it was like a diet Fresca or something. I don't remember. It was like a kind of Fresca that was not normal Fresca, and I love Fresca, so I was like, fuck yeah. Hardcore and pop punk rules. Oh, what? Yes. I am all down to CNK OTB fan pics. Big fan. Yeah, Art Bell is a baddie. And here's the thing, I don't like conspiracies, but I like Art Bell. It was something about Art Bell panicking is so soothing to me. Okay. We had to do tapes from the radio show. Dude, I had a Walkman. A fucking Walkman. It's crazy. I actually have a shitload of old 80s and 90s memorabilia. And yeah, I'll pull some of it out sometime. I've already showed you my Lorena Bobbitt knife, right? Oh my God. If you guys weren't here for that. No, I don't have it up here. I have a knife. It's a Lorena Bobbitt knife, and it's called the Weenie Whacker. And it's an old piece of true crime memorabilia. And actually, when your dad got his ass beaten, stabbed, they dropped me in some fire ants. And you could see what that did to your dad's shitty kiss tattoo. So I am going to get it covered up. And I'm thinking, speaking of grunge, I want my Pearl Jam tattoo so bad. I love Pearl Jam. I don't know. I'm debating because it's probably going to be wrestling, to be honest. But it would be cool to get like an Eddie Vedder wrestling someone tattoo. 89 and 91. Yeah. 93 she died. It was right before Kurt. Yeah. I got a Walkman at 12 and I thought I was the shit. I still think you're the shit. Yeah, the Weenie Whacker, the Lorena Bobbitt Weenie Whacker. I don't know where the fuck it went. Where's my Weenie Whacker? Dylan? Where's my Weenie Whacker? Yeah. Dad's origin story began one day when she was hanging out with Eddie Vedder. What? Is he your neighbor? Tell him I love him. Ask him if he wants to come hang out. Yeah, Lorena fucking rules, and that guy fucking sucks. John Wayne Bobbitt was a prick. Frankenweenie? Yeah, let's see. I used to love Phil Hendry on the radio. Man, there's so many good fucking... God, there's so many good bands from back then. The fucking Meat Puppets. Here in Austin, the Butthole Surfers is really big. Okay, enough. Let's... your dad's gotten off track. Let's go back to Mr. Apology. I'm going to show you some Mr. Apology shit. Let's talk about him some more because he rules. His name's Allan. In fact, I could play you some of the original Apology line. It's on Wondery. That's the channel that it's on. And I'm going to put that. Ooh, here's a 1995 Washington Post article? Ooh. Yes, please. Okay, let's just do a little favor here. Hold on, you guys. Listen to me ramble. This is when the JavaScript switcher comes in handy. I just click it off, and now I can see. And I'm going to show you guys. And then your dad's going to play out some more of this, and then we'll go. So he died, and this is the part that's crazy. Yeah, he was in Southampton, New York. He was 50. Authorities say he was scuba diving in Shinnecock Inlet. Is it Shinycock? What is that? Shinycock Inlet? Hit by a jet ski operator who left the scene. If you hear my boyfriend yelling, he's yelling at his friends on his headset, and it's really funny. Okay, hold on. Sorry, your dad had to cough. So, where the fuck is that? You guys are from New York. Where is that? I thought it was closer to Gilgo. Is that close? Yeah, he was He was scuba diving. He went to what he told his wife, or what was reported, I guess, was that he was going to jet ski. But it looks like he was scuba diving while a guy was jet skiing and hit him. Shinnecock? Okay. Shinnecock Inlet. That's an unfortunate name. Okay, so let's see. Well, let's see where Shinnecock is on a map. Fuck it. Because some of y'all are like close, far. And I just realized I'm in Texas. Everything here that is close to us, y'all would probably say is really fucking far. Like 15 miles is really close here. Like that's not that far. So I don't know what y'all are talking about. And I want to know, so help me understand. Let's go to maps and put Shinnecock. And let's not laugh about it. Yeah. Get out of my head. Over here with the guy on the jet ski was Bernie. Shinycock Golf Course. The Long Island joke is everything is 50. Yeah, that's the joke for Austin, but it's not true and we laugh at it. So, okay, let me share this page. Blah. Here we go. This turned into a whole thing. All right. This is why your dad doesn't bring up specific cases as much, because then we end up on these deep dives. But it's fine. It's fine. It's not even a deep dive. It's just a, hey, check this. Want to see a dead body? That kind of thing. See, this looks just like fucking Gilgo to me. This is crazy. Oh, Fire Island. Mastic Bee. Oh, there it is. Oh, that is not very fucking far away, you guys. What? Hey guys, that's not fucking far away. You could literally just, I mean, you could scuba, or you could do a little swim. How far is that? That's not that fucking far. There's Fire Island, right? Smith Point, what's that? West Ham. What is it? What is all this? What's going on? What's a map? The fuck is a map? Yeah, Gibson. What's up here? Okay. So wait. So on the LISK maps, I think even Catching LISK or maybe Catching LISK is the OG with one, but on the maps, when everybody's talking about this, I've seen people refer to bodies up at Montauk all the way down there, and I thought that it was all connected, and it kind of is. Like, these are all the bodies that are mapped. So, like, if we're considering, let me put it this way, if this is the fucking hunting ground and the dumping ground for all 5 of those serial killers we talked about, then Shawnee Cox in, you guys. Shawnee Cox in. Right? That ain't that far. An hour, that's from here to San Antonio. What's the problem? Hour and 20 minutes? Are we sure? Hold up, yo. Aruba. Okay. Let's hold on. How do I? Here we go. Let's do some directions here. Let's do Gilgo. Hold up. I'm always using maps for cases. Let's see. Oh, wow. You were dead ass, dude. Sorry I doubted you, sister. Wow. An hour, 20 minutes, huh? Fascinating. But that's if you're going that way. What if you swim? No, I'm just kidding. So this is interesting. So, I mean, the dumping ground really ideally was what, 20, 30 minutes long? I don't know if you're going one end to the other. And then if you're counting built roll for whatever, it's probably about, there's Stony Brook. Damn. I don't know. I think if it's within 2 hours, it's doable. I'm just wondering, like, we got a whole bunch of different people out here doing fuck shit in y'all's area. No offense. It's all you Long Islanders. I'm a big MJF fan, you guys. I'm on your side, okay? What did Bernie say that he was going to say to Mr. A when he tracked him down? That's the thing. He was, like, terrified of him. Like, he was like, yo, I don't want this fucking guy to know. Like, he was really scared, and he was getting paranoid. It was affecting his life. And he hired, like, an assistant, and he tried to get on the web for the first time, and this was, like, pre-Pam and Tommy sex tape, so it was, like, you know what I'm talking about? Because that was the first video, like, sex video that was ever posted that was downloadable on the web, if you will. And that shit took, like, 10 hours to load. So imagine trying to put, like, a podcast full of these up before podcasts exist. Yes, I fucking did. MJF is my fave. Love him. He is the best. Revel in the devil, baby. It is a small area, right? Like 2 hours, it's a lot of bodies for 2 hours. 120 miles ain't that long, though, Darlene. That's not that long. Like, that ain't that fucking long. That's Austin to San Antonio, baby. Fascinating. And I just think it's weird because this guy, like, they even on the podcast, like, or not I guess podcast, the Apology Line podcast, when you go back and you hear some of the stuff, they don't just play them all boom, 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 like what I played you. That was literally outtakes and stuff. They kind of tell a story with it. But if you want to hear just the random outtakes, I should go back in the Wayback Machine. There's an archive in there of, like, way more of them. Like, this isn't the only guy who confessed to murder, you guys. Like, there's a lot. But if you want the story of the serial killer, specifically that fucks with Mr. Apology, you want to listen to the Wandery podcast. And if you want to just fucking find who got Henry and if Henry's real, we got to do that, I think you froze, Michelle, because I think everybody can hear me. It is wild that so many people have been killed online. And like, it is a big fucking place. So yeah, there's going to be deaths, but I'm talking like chopped the fuck up and tossed on a beach. Like, that's crazy. That's really crazy. It's a lot. And it's more than our report. Like, this Mastic Beach area, there were a couple out here at Smith Point. There are, like, body parts that have washed up. I have a whole list. There's, like, a ton of, like, a foot was here, a leg was here, and they're years apart. And it's really fascinating to see how many are just like, well, we found a foot. We don't know whose it was. And then it doesn't get put in the conversation. Yeah, LISK did North and South Shore. Yeah, again, Australia. I feel like Australia and Texas are the same. Maybe that's why we bond. It's fucking hot. There's big evil bugs. Everybody talks fucking weird. Everyone has guns and everybody drives really fucking far. Yeah, man. Fuck ghost hunting on Long Island. I want to go, like, bone hunting because there's, dude, my Boston Terrier. Listen, guys, check this out. Your dad was like, oh, a 5-year-old Boston Terrier. I can make him a cadaver dog. And I bought all this shit to try to train him. And he's not having it. We gave up. I'm pretty positive. I've said it before. I'll say it again. If he had to do that and he adapted and he did find a cadaver, he would chew the bones and he would not let me have them back. And that would be so embarrassing. You know, like you're out there with Equisearch, you're like, oh, he found something, and then he just takes off with a femur. Like, no, we can't have that. It's Wandery. The old psych hospital is a great place. Oh my god, what's that? Cropsy shit? Ah, and y'all got Cropsy. Creepy, dude. I don't know. There's one there. I really want to go to Montauk because there's a song by this band Brand New where they just mention it, and that's the only reason I want to go. I'm all about the tip. I want to go to the tip of everything. Your dad's all about the tip. Listen, kids. I thought that Provincetown fucking kicked ass. I'm strangely drawn to lighthouses. I don't know why, but I don't like boats. What's that about? God, why'd you do that to me? Yeah, this is weird. And also, is that Ronkakoma? How do you Ronkonkoma? Ronkonkoma? I don't know, guys. I just think it's weird, the whole Mr. Apology thing. Call me crazy, but I think it's weird. The Montauk Project. That sounds fun. Bones and Ghosts. That's a good name for a band. He would be the cutest cadaver dog ever. Yes, just the tip at him. If I've taught you anything, boy. Wandry is the podcast network. Yes. Cropsy. That's so fucking creepy. That shit is creepy. I worked at Central Islip. Is it Islip? You slip, we all slip. Who gives a fuck? Psychiatric and Kings Park Psychiatric Centers. Darlene, you're a baddie, dude. You are a fucking baddie. I bet you've seen some shit. In fact, I know you've seen some shit, but I'm telling you, mad respect to be a psych ward doctor or just to work in any psych ward or mental hospital takes a lot out of a person. It takes a lot of patience and it takes a lot of balls. Do you know about that? The Montauk Project? I don't. Oh, I know I said it right because it's in that song by Brand New. We put out that SOS call. Yeah, I love them. I think it's because my grandma had them up everywhere in the house, and I'd be like, "Damn, what's in there?" Ronkonkoma. I'm skeptical. Careful, ghosts will go. Nope, I don't fuck with those. They're not real. That would so be my dog's. Yeah, you're like, hey, thanks for finding that human skull. Give it to me, boy. Give it to me. And then you just end up chasing it. And he's like, haha, play. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you guys are into it. I was worried you'd be like, fuck you, bitch. And then just fucking all unsubscribe. This bitch is fucking weird and the shit's boring. And then I dip and you dip and we dip. I slip. Oh. Well, I'm against that. They don't make that clear at all. That's not fair, you guys. Yeah, that song is going to be stuck in your head because it's a good song. And it gets intense. And I know that Jesse guy or whatever did bad things, but listen, it's a great song. Philadelphia experiment. Ooh, I'm going to look into these experiments tonight. Oh my gosh. Speaking of geriatric psych hospitals, there's a wrestler named Vern Gagne who pile drove a guy in his elderly psych home because he was having bouts of dementia and he thought he was back in the ring. And yeah, he killed a guy when he was like 80 or 90 in the home. Yeah, it was pretty creepy. We love you, Dad. We share the same interests as you. Excellent. Well, let me tell you about the fight between Jesse Lacey from Brand New and a band called Taking Back Sunday. Okay, here we go. No, just kidding. My father-in-law does scrimshaw of the Montauk Lighthouse. Oh my god, I don't know what scrimshaw is, but it sounds fun. I want a scrimshaw. What is that? Shells. I love shells. I fucked you, my phonetics. It's a short sound. I slip. I slip. You slip. We slip. We put our hands up on the hips. Yep. Everybody get cooking. Everybody say. Okay. Let's go back to this crazy motherfucker, and then I really do have to go because now your dad's hungry. Your dad's going to go to a place called Whataburger. Not Waterburger, but Whataburger. And your dad is going to get whatever they have that has chili on it. Because your dad's going to blast ass at the dog tonight and teach it a lesson. You can't fart eggs in my face all night and not expect revenge. Remind me to send you about a patient I had to... Oh, I am all about... Listen, send me your wounds. Send me your cysts. Send me odd growths. Any bone or skin grafts? Any weird surgery scars? I'm into it. I'm into it. Just don't send me pictures of your penis or your veg. I don't know how I feel about bone carving. Let me think about that and look that up. I'm also getting hungry, Sarah. What's beautiful, bone carving or scrimshaws? I don't know what a scrimshaw is. Fudge Whataburger. Oh, don't worry. It's going everywhere because someone from Chicago bought it and fucked it up. But luckily, the one next to me will not adhere to the new standards and it's still good. Yes, you should be jealous. It's delicious. Maybe your dad will buy you some Whataburger merch and give it away on the podcast. No, it's not going to be tasty food, but maybe I could send you a Fiesta medal. Yes, you did send me your wounds, Darlene Wolf, and they were fantastic and magical. And I'm so sorry you went through that, but fascinating to see. And also, you're a fucking killer, babe. You rule. And you're hanging in there and you're a badass. Darlene, by the way, y'all, is a fucking badass. And if she chooses to write a book, we pimping it, y'all. She got some stories and they're legit. And she has receipts. Oh my God, Darlene, I love you. I have a potato somewhere. Oh, I read that wrong. You have a photo somewhere. Okay. Of my back after I got a cyst removed. Well, listen, guys. I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm not one of those after the fact bitches. I need to see the shit coming out of it. Okay. I will look at it, but I need to see. I want to see also the before of your cysts. I want to see before you squeeze them and when you squeeze them, not just after you squeeze them. Okay. Because the fun part is seeing all the explosion of cheese. Yes, they do have Dr. Pepper shakes at Whataburger. And there's a new Dr. Pepper ice cream by Bluebell. And what's the other ice cream? A&W root beer ice cream. And guess what? They taste like Dr. Pepper and root beer, you guys. Hey, thanks for staring at this. Also, Michelle, when I saw your comment on my screen, I read it wrong and I thought you said, I have the Dr. Pepper shakes. And it made me think of the DTs and how funny that would be. But like Dr. Pepper. Scrimshaw and bone. I don't know what scrimshaw is, you guys. What is that? Is it?
Tiny little letters and
He's teaching me. What?
Glass bottles with the shit.
Oh, the little ship inside the bottles? Is that what that is? Carved whalebone? Someone's saying it's a carved whalebone.
Yeah, you see those in the fucking jars.
That's whalebone? Man, I'm learning. Your dad's learning from his boyfriend, and I'm learning from you kids. Whale bones. Are whales the ones with the big penises? Okay, he's not answering. I saw a video of a woman who's like, a whale penis is 19 feet. And I was like, what the fuck? I think it was a whale. Is ivory carving legal? I mean, is it legal to have ivory? Little ship in a bottle. You just go to fucking Hobby Lobby for one of those, can't you? Hey, thanks for looking at that map of New York for so long. Yeah, we're still here. You know, your dad's here learning about scrimshaws. We had to take a New Kids on the Block break. We had to address your sister Witch almost got fucked by a mechanic, but she countered that shit, fucked him back. She's a badass. I was just informing you that I do want to see your cysts, especially any pimple popping or bursting videos that you think I need to see. It is very illegal to have ivory. Kids, hide the scrimshaws. Dad's coming. Whales do have big peckers, according to Darlene. Darlene, you're so fucking smart. You should be hosting this shit. You know more than me. I didn't even know what a scrimshaw is. It's not legal, but vintage ones are legal to own. Well, you can't have a turtle lamp. I found that out. I saw a video on YouTube and I believed it. And it was from those Vegas pawn guys. And they were like, get this fucking turtle lamp out here. That's illegal. Scrimshaw. If I change my name, it's going to be Scrimshaw. It's going to be the Scrimshaw channel. You did miss a lot, Cyborg Mama, but we're getting back to it. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play out the rest of these uncut gems from year 0 of the apology line. I'm going to let you listen to till we get to the end of this dirty bastard. And then your dad's got to really go because he's got to go paint his scrimshaw tonight. I don't know what that means, but I love you guys. God bless. You're the best. I'm really going this time. I'm fucking leaving. Dad's grounded. All right, you're the best. Oh my God, where's Chloe? Where are you? We were just talking about you. No, really, where are you? They need you. Karen's on trial and you're in Vermont. All right, we got to go. I love you guys so much. Good night. Scrimshaw Squirrel is hilarious. Bye.
Went over again with that rock, and I killed Henry. It was partly his fault because he shouldn't have kept teasing me about the size of my ears. And they found the body, of course, and they gave him a good funeral. He had a nice funeral, pictures in the paper and everything. I mean, they kept looking for the person who did it. They never caught that person. That's me. But I want to say I'm sorry, Henry. And again, I was a kid. I didn't know any better. Since I've been in New York, I guess I've robbed. I didn't kill anyone, no rape, but I've robbed, mugged about 15, 20 people. I don't know. Stole things, watches, and their money and everything. I don't know their names. How do I apologize to them? Well, I guess, to the 15 or 20 people that I've stolen money from and mugged and robbed and frightened, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't have to say it 15 times, do I? Oh, boy, this is absolutely fantastic. I feel so much better now because I've never seen them to tell them that I'm sorry. This is a fantastic service that you're doing. Oh, boy. Well, that's a weight off my shoulder. Boy, I could go out tonight and start mugging again and doing all those things. Oh, you've changed my whole life. You've changed my whole life. I stopped doing those things because I really felt bad. It was really eating at me. So I stopped to try, doing other things. But you are the one who has changed my life and made it better because I'm always happier when I'm doing those dangerous things. That's the wonderful thing, the danger of it all, of being caught and not being caught and running away and getting $100 that you didn't have 5 minutes ago. Listen, I gotta hang up soon, but I want to tell you, I've never said I'm sorry to someone before I've heard of the person who is running this service, the person who answered the phone. I will find out who you are, and I'm telling you right now, I'm sorry, but I'm going to kill you. Yeah, I've never done that. I've never said I'm sorry to someone before I've committed a crime. I am going to kill the person who is running this service. I'm going to kill you, but I'm sorry. I'm telling you right now, I'm sorry. So that'll make it all right, right? You mean there'll be no problem or anything? A lot of people live their lives and they don't do any good at all in the world. You at least will know that you've made one person happy. I mean, isn't that worth a lifetime to make one person truly happy? When I kill you, that's exciting and all that. You'll make me happy. Your death will make me happy. That's why I'm going to kill you. And I'm going to find out who you are. I mean, there's no problem at all. I have friends in the telephone company. I have friends who are cops, too. They help me. They get me information and all. I know that there was an article on you in the Washington, D.C. Post, the newspaper. I'll find out who you are. I'll find out where you live. And when you least expect it, in this year, this brand new year, 1981, when you least expect it, when everything seems calm or so, your death will come. And, the way I'll be there. I'm going to do it. And I'll say to you, Bernie, telephone call, and you will know you will make the connection and know that I've followed through on exactly what I said I would do, which is your death. But I'm sorry. I'm telling you right now, I'm sorry, because I'm not going to have time then to say I'm sorry to you. I'm saying I'm sorry now. Okay? This is a wonderful service. I mean, this is really great. You just say you're sorry and then everything is all right. Jesus, I bet a lot more people would be out doing what I'm doing. The world would be full of people like me if we just knew that all we had to do was just say I'm sorry and everything is all right. You're an absolutely fantastic person, and you're going to make me very, very happy when I kill you. Thanks.
Yeah, I'd like to tape interview with y'all stupid ass motherfuckers. What kind of shit are y'all talking about? Talking about motherfuckers coming up there apologizing to motherfuckers.